My child, it pains me to say this, but you have been drifting, and you know it. Do not scroll. Do not let your mind wander. This is not casual. This is not light. I am speaking directly to you, and what I need to say carries weight. I have watched you grow tired, watched you grow guarded, watched you grow distant in ways you barely noticed yourself. And I cannot stay silent about it anymore. Stay with me until the very end. Let every word settle. Do not rush this moment. Something in you already knows this message is personal. Something in you feels the pull. If you walk away now, you will miss what your heart has been needing to hear. So lean in. Listen closely. What I am about to say could change everything. My child, I need you to hear me without distraction, without defense, without rushing ahead of what I am trying to say. It pains me to speak like this, because I never enjoy watching you wrestle with things that I could help you carry. You may not realize it, but I have been observing the quiet changes in your heart. Not the obvious ones that others see, but the subtle ones. The way your prayers have become shorter. The way your thoughts drift elsewhere when you once would have lingered with me. The way you tell yourself you are fine, while deep inside you feel a weight you cannot fully name. I am not upset with you. I am not disappointed in the way you fear. What aches in me is seeing you slowly shoulder burdens that were never meant to rest on you alone. You have been trying so hard to stay composed, to stay capable, to stay dependable for everyone around you. You do not want to appear fragile. You do not want to admit that something inside you feels stretched thin. And yet I see it. I see how often your mind runs long after your body is tired. I see the quiet sighs you release when no one is watching. I see the way you stare into space, feeling overwhelmed without even knowing why. I wish you understood how closely I pay attention to those small moments. Nothing about your inner world is hidden from me. I have felt the tension building in you, and I have waited patiently, hoping you would pause long enough to let me speak into it. Instead, you have kept moving. You have kept pushing. You have convinced yourself that if you just manage everything carefully enough, the heaviness will ease. But it has not eased, has it? It lingers. It follows you into your evenings. It sits quietly beside you when you wake up. And the truth I need to say, even though it pains me, is that you have been drifting further from the place where your strength is restored. I am not saying this to accuse you. I am saying it because I care about your soul more than you do. You have been functioning, but you have not been resting in me. You have been surviving, but you have not been leading. Somewhere along the way, you started believing that maturity meant handling everything without bringing it to me first. You began filtering your struggles through logic, through planning, through self-reliance, and only afterward wondering why you feel spiritually dry. You were not designed to live that way. When you distance yourself from my presence, even subtly, your heart begins to strain under pressure it was never built to carry alone. You might not have noticed the shift at first. It felt small. It felt harmless. But over time, those small distances create fatigue. I have watched you try to fill that fatigue with productivity, with distraction, even with good responsibilities. None of those things are wrong on their own. What pains me is that you are exhausting yourself when I am right here, steady and willing. You do not have to earn rest from me. You do not have to present a polished version of yourself. I would rather you come to me messy and honest than composed and distant. Your heart has been bracing itself as if you are preparing for impact. You have been guarding yourself against disappointment, against uncertainty, against outcomes you cannot control. And while you brace yourself, you unknowingly brace against me too. I feel the way you hold back. I feel the hesitation in your trust. It does not push me away, but it saddens me because I know how much peace you are missing. I am not asking you to fix everything tonight. I am asking you to recognize that you are tired because you have been carrying too much without me. Let that truth settle gently. Sit with it. Tell me how heavy it feels. I am not going anywhere. My child, stay with me here. Let this settle before you rush past it. I need you to look at your own heart honestly, not harshly, just honestly. You have been drifting. Not in a loud, rebellious way. Not in some dramatic collapse. It has been quieter than that. Slower. Subtle enough that you almost convinced yourself nothing had changed. But I have felt it. I have watched you move through your days with less awareness of me. You still believe. You still claim me. You still speak my name when things become difficult. Yet the closeness you once guarded has loosened. The conversations we used to have throughout your day have grown shorter. You used to pause in the middle of decisions and ask for my direction. Lately, you decide first and reflect later. A difference may seem small to you, but it has weight. It has shaped how you carry stress. It has shaped how you process disappointment. It has shaped how you respond when life feels uncertain. I am not offended. I am not withdrawing from you. But I am grieved because I see how that drift has cost you peace. You have tried to replace intimacy with independence. You have told yourself that you are just being responsible, just being mature, just handling things. And I admire your desire to grow. I truly do. But growth without guidance becomes strain. You were never designed to outgrow your need for me. You were meant to deepen it. Instead, you began to manage your life like a careful architect, measuring, planning, calculating every move, while leaving me in the background as if I were a distant advisor rather than your present father. That is the drift I am speaking of. It did not happen in a single day. It happened in small compromises. A skipped moment here. A postponed prayer there. A quiet assumption that you could carry this season on your own strength. And now you feel the result. You feel the subtle dryness. You feel the tension in your spirit that you cannot quite explain. You feel slightly unanchored, even though everything on the outside may look stable. Come closer and admit it to me. Say it quietly if you must. Tell me you feel the distance. Not because I am moved, but because you slowly step back while thinking you were simply being strong. I want you to stop for a moment. Close your eyes if you need to. Breathe deeply and let yourself notice how much mental energy you have been spending trying to control outcomes. Notice how often you rehearse conversations in your mind. Notice how frequently you calculate worst-case scenarios before anything has even happened. You have been living in quiet vigilance. That constant internal alertness is exhausting you. It is not the rhythm I designed for you. You are meant to walk with steady confidence, not constant caution. When you drift from me, you begin to overcompensate. You tighten your grip on situations. You analyze instead of trust. You plan instead of pray. You strive instead of surrender. I say this gently but firmly. Release your grip. Loosen your hands. Let me back into the center of your thinking. You do not need to manage every detail before bringing it to me. Invite me first. Consult me first. Rest in me first. You have reversed the order, and that reversal has drained you. I am inviting you now, not with anger, but with urgency, to step back toward me. Do not wait for some emotional moment. Do not wait until you feel spiritual again. Act on it. Come to me tonight. Sit quietly. Speak honestly. Tell me where you drifted. I am not surprised by it. I am not tallying it. I simply want you back in closeness. You are not in danger of losing me. You are in danger of losing the comfort that comes from walking aware of me. That awareness is what steadies your mind. That awareness is what softens your anxiety. That awareness is what allows you to move through uncertainty without feeling like you are alone in it. Come back into that awareness. Choose it deliberately. Say to yourself, I will not drift quietly anymore. I will not let busyness become distance. You do not need to fix everything at once. Just turn your attention toward me again. I am already here. Now let me speak about something deeper, something you have been avoiding even within yourself. You are carrying more than you admit. You have become skilled at appearing composed. You answer questions with polite confidence. You handle responsibilities with reliability. You move through your day checking tasks off lists as if productivity equals peace. But when you finally sit down at night, there is a heaviness in your chest that does not fully leave. You call it stress. You call it fatigue. You call it just being busy. Yet I know it is more layered than that. You are carrying unspoken fears about your future. You are carrying silent grief over things that did not unfold the way you hoped. You are carrying pressure to meet expectations, some from others and some entirely self-imposed. You have been stacking these weights quietly, telling yourself you will deal with them later. Later has not come. The stack has grown. And you wonder why your patience is thinner. You wonder why small inconveniences irritate you more than they used to. You wonder why joy feels slightly muted. It is because you are overloaded. You were never meant to be a silent storage room for unresolved emotions. I see the way you suppress disappointment because you do not want to seem ungrateful. I see the way you swallow frustration because you do not want conflict. I see the way you minimize your own needs because you believe others have it harder. Stop doing that. Do not compare your pain to someone else's pain as a way to invalidate your own. Your heart matters to me. Your strain matters to me. Your quiet overwhelm matters to me. You do not have to earn the right to feel tired. You do not have to justify needing help. You are human, and I designed you with limits on purpose. Those limits are not flaws. They are invitations to depend on me. So here is what I want you to do. Be honest with yourself tonight. Write down what you have been carrying. Name it clearly. Do not soften the words. If you are afraid, admit it. If you are disappointed, say it. If you are angry, acknowledge it. I can handle your truth. Bring it to me instead of bearing it. Speak to me plainly. Tell me what has been weighing on you. Invite me into those specific concerns instead of keeping them vague. When you keep everything general, you avoid vulnerability. I am asking you to be specific with me. Tell me what you fear might happen. Tell me what outcome you dread. Tell me where you feel inadequate. I am not intimidated by your transparency. I am moved by it. When you hand those weights to me deliberately, something shifts inside you. The load lightens because you are no longer carrying it alone. Do not misinterpret strength as silence. True strength is trusting me enough to admit you need support. I want you to experience relief, not just resilience. Relief comes when you release. So release it. One concern at a time. Do not rush through this. Sit with me and let your guard down. You have been strong for a long time. You do not need to be strong in front of me. I am your father. Let me carry what is crushing you. Let me steady what is shaking you. Step toward me instead of tightening inward. You will not fall apart in my presence. You will finally exhale. My child, come sit with me in this truth, even if it makes you uncomfortable. I need you to look gently but honestly at something that hath been shaping your decisions lately. You have allowed fear to guide you more than you realize. I am not speaking about obvious panic or dramatic breakdown. I am speaking about subtle steering, the quiet calculations you make before you step forward, the cautious conversations you rehearse in your mind, the opportunities you hesitate to pursue because of what might go wrong. You tell yourself you are being wise. You call it being realistic. You even convince yourself that you are protecting your heart. But deep down, you know the difference between peace and pressure. When you move from peace, your body relaxes even in uncertainty. When you move from fear, your thoughts accelerate and your chest tightens. I have watched you choose the safer path, not because I directed you there, but because you did not want to risk disappointment. You have been negotiating with worst-case scenarios before they even happen. You have been shrinking your hopes to avoid potential hurt. That is not the life I prepared for you. I did not create you to live in cautious containment. I created you to walk in courageous confidence. There is a difference between wisdom and worry. Wisdom listens. Worry rushes. Wisdom waits. Worry reacts. If you slow down right now and reflect on your recent choices, you will see the pattern. You have been responding quickly to internal alarms that I did not set off. You have let imagined outcomes shape real decisions. It pains me because fear is a poor leader for your life. Fear promises safety, but it steals freedom. Fear claims control, but it produces exhaustion. Fear whispers that you must manage everything yourself. And when you listen to that whisper, you step slightly away from trusting me. I am not condemning you for that. I understand how your experiences shape this instinct. You were hurt before. You were disappointed before. You learned to anticipate pain before it arrives. That instinct may have protected you in some seasons, but now it is constraining you. You are living slightly smaller than you were meant to live. I want you to pause and examine your motives without defensiveness. Ask yourself honestly, am I choosing this because I sense peace, or because I want to avoid risk? Do not rush past that question. Sit with it. Invite me into it. Let me reveal what has been driving you. You do not have to live under constant internal alert. You do not have to scan for threats in every opportunity. Release that burden. Open your hands instead of clenching them. When you feel fear rise, do not immediately obey it. Breathe. Bring it to me. Speak it out loud if you need to. Say, I feel afraid of this outcome. Let me meet you there. I am not asking you to ignore caution. I am asking you to let me define it. Invite my wisdom into your process before you default to self-protection. You will find that my direction often stretches you beyond your comfort zone, but it never pushes you into chaos. Step toward the things I nudge you toward, even if your mind lists reasons to retreat. Take one deliberate action that aligns with trust instead of anxiety. Send the message. Make the call. Apply for the opportunity. Have the honest conversation. Stop letting imagined failure dictate real restraint. You are stronger than you think because I am with you. When you feel that familiar tightening in your chest, that internal signal telling you to retreat, bring it into my presence. Let my peace recalibrate you. You were not meant to live braced for impact. You were meant to walk steady and secure, knowing that even if something does not unfold the way you hope, I will not abandon you. Let me retrain your reflexes. Let me replace worry with wisdom. Do not let fear be your compass anymore. Choose to trust me even when the outcome is unclear. I am already ahead of you in every scenario you are trying to predict. Now let me speak to something even more personal, something that quietly influences how you see yourself. You doubt yourself more than you admit. You do not always say it out loud. You may not even consciously label it as doubt. But I see the way you question your own adequacy. I see the way you compare your progress to others and quietly conclude that you are behind. I see how you replay past mistakes and allow them to color your present confidence. You have developed a habit of second-guessing your instincts. When you accomplish something, you downplay it. When you fail at something, you magnify it. That imbalance has shaped how you move through your days. You hesitate before speaking your ideas because you assume someone else is more capable. You delay pursuing certain goals because you quietly suspect you might not measure up. You look at your flaws under a microscope while viewing others through a wide lens of grace. That distortion hurts you more than you understand. It keeps you smaller than your calling. It keeps you quieter than your potential. It keeps you stuck in cycles of self-critique. My heart aches when I see you talk about yourself with less kindness than you extend to strangers. You would encourage a friend who failed. You would reassure someone who felt behind. Yet when it comes to your own journey, you become relentless in your judgment. That harsh inner voice does not come from me. I correct you when necessary, but I do not belittle you. I guide you, but I do not degrade you. I created you with intentional detail. Your personality, your strengths, even your weaknesses were not accidents. I am shaping you over time. You are a work in progress, not a finished product to be evaluated harshly. When you constantly doubt yourself, you are indirectly doubting the craftsmanship of the one who formed you. I want you to confront that inner narrative. Listen carefully to how you speak to yourself this week. When you catch a self-critical thought, pause and question it. Ask, is this truth or is this insecurity? Do not accept every thought as fact. Bring your self-perception into alignment with how I see you. I see growth where you see gaps. I see courage where you see caution. I see resilience where you see weakness. Start practicing agreement with my perspective instead of defaulting to your fear-based interpretation. When you accomplish something, allow yourself to acknowledge it without apology. When you make a mistake, learn from it without labeling yourself as incompetent. Speak to yourself with steadiness instead of severity. You may think humility requires minimizing yourself. It does not. True humility recognizes both limitation and potential without distortion. I need you to stand upright in who you are becoming. Stop shrinking your presence in rooms where I have placed you. Stop apologizing for the space you occupy. Stop assuming that others are automatically more qualified. I have equipped you uniquely. Your voice matters. Your insight matters. Your growth matters. When doubt begins to whisper that you are not enough, bring that whisper to me. Let me counter it with truth. Replace internal criticism with intentional confidence. Take action even when you feel slightly unsure. Confidence grows through movement, not overthinking. You do not need flawless certainty to step forward. You need trust in me and willingness to grow. I am shaping you daily. Do not sabotage that shaping with relentless self-doubt. Lift your head. Carry yourself with quiet assurance. You are not behind. You are not inadequate. You are becoming exactly who I am forming you to be. My child, come closer in your spirit and let me speak to something that you have quietly adjusted to without realizing it. You have been numb. Not completely empty, not entirely detached, but dulled. Your reactions are softer than they used to be. Your excitement does not rise the way it once did. Your sorrow does not fall as freely as it used to. You have found a middle ground where you function well enough, where you get through your days without collapsing, but where you also do not feel deeply alive. I see it. I see how you scroll through your evenings without really absorbing anything. I see how you respond politely to good news without truly celebrating. I see how you handle disappointment with a shrug that feels mature on the outside but guarded underneath. Somewhere along the way, you decided that feeling less was safer than feeling fully. You did not announce that decision. You did not even consciously make it. It formed quietly after repeated straying, after unanswered questions, after seasons that stretched you thinner than you expected. You began to protect your heart by lowering its volume. You thought if you did not hope too much, you would not hurt too much. You thought if you did not invest too deeply, you would not be wounded too deeply. That coping strategy seemed practical at first. It gave you stability. It gave you steadiness. But it also muted joy. It softened passion. It reduced wonder. And I feel the ache of that reduction. I did not design you for emotional neutrality. I formed you with capacity for depth. I placed sensitivity inside you on purpose. You were created to experience life richly, not cautiously. This numbness is not strength. It is fatigue disguised as control. You have been carrying so much that your heart simply slowed down to conserve energy. That response is understandable, but it is not sustainable. You were not meant to survive by shutting down parts of yourself. You were meant to bring your overwhelm to me so I could restore what was drained. Instead, you adapted by dimming your own light. So I want you to do something brave. I want you to let yourself feel again in my presence. Do not rush past your emotions. Sit with them. When something moves you, pause and notice it instead of brushing it aside. When you feel sadness, do not immediately distract yourself. Bring that sadness to me. Speak it honestly. When you feel joy, allow it to expand instead of shrinking it down out of habit. You do not need to moderate your heart in front of me. I am not overwhelmed by your intensity. I am the one who gave you that capacity. If you sense that you have become detached from things that once mattered deeply, ask me to soften you again. Invite my spirit to gently reawaken what has gone quiet. This will not happen through force. It will happen through closeness. Spend unhurried time with me. Turn off the noise for a while. Step outside and breathe deeply. Pay attention to small beauty. Look at the sky. Notice the light. Let yourself be present. Numbness fades when presence grows. I want you alert and alive, not armored and muted. Open your heart gradually. Let me tend to the areas that have shut down. You are not broken because you feel less. You are tired. And tired hearts need tenderness, not pressure. I am here to restore your depth, not demand performance. Lean into me instead of withdrawing into yourself. Allow warmth to return slowly. You do not need to live half awake. I created you for fullness, not flatness. Now let me address something that has been quietly haunting you. You sometimes fear that you have drifted too far, changed too much, failed too often to return fully to me. You would not phrase it that dramatically, but the thought lingers beneath the surface. When you reflect on your inconsistencies, your distractions, your compromises, you wonder whether something fundamental shifted between us. You imagine distance as if it has grown into a canyon. You question whether you cross some invisible line. That fear keeps you hesitant. It keeps you from approaching me freely. You tell yourself you will come back more intentionally later, when you feel more aligned, more focused, more disciplined. But that delay is built on a misunderstanding. You are not as far gone as you think. The distance you sense is amplified by guilt, not reality. I have not moved away from you. I have not quietly stepped back in disappointment. I have remained steady. Your perception has changed because your awareness has wavered, but my presence has not. When you assume you are too far, you create unnecessary barriers. You hesitate to pray openly. You filter your words. You soften your honesty because you are unsure how I will respond. That uncertainty is not from me. If you truly saw how near I remain, you would approach without hesitation. You would speak without rehearsal. You would admit your confusion without fear. I need you to understand this clearly. Relationship with me is not fragile. It does not fracture easily. You do not fall out of my care because you struggle. You do not lose access to my presence because you falter. You are still mine. That truth has not shifted. So I am inviting you right now to drop the assumption that you must repair yourself before returning fully. Come as you are. Do not calculate how consistent you have been lately. Do not measure how spiritually strong you feel. Do not wait until your habits improve. Step toward me now. Speak plainly. Admit where you wandered. Tell me where you feel disconnected. I am not waiting to scold you. I am waiting to receive you. Stop imagining a closed door where there is none. Walk in. Sit down. Let the tension leave your shoulders. If you have been holding back because you felt ashamed, release that shame. It does not serve you. It does not honor me. Shame exaggerates distance. Grace restores proximity. I want you near, not intimidated. I want you honest, not polished. The more you delay because you feel unworthy, the more unnecessary space you create. Close that space. Return intentionally. Even if your return feels small, it matters. Even if your prayer feels simple, it counts. Do not dramatize your drift. Do not exaggerate your failure. See it clearly, acknowledge it calmly, and step forward confidently. I am not tallying your missteps. I am welcoming your presence. You are closer than you think. You are still deeply loved. Come back without fear. I am here, unchanged, steady, and ready for you. You are not as far gone as you think, and neither is the one who is still searching for me in the dark. As I draw you back without shame, I am also sending this word like seed into dry ground, and I invite you to help sow it. When you give through Super Thanks, join as a member, or plant a gift through the PayPal link in the description, you become a co-laborer in my harvest. I told you in my word that as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest shall not cease, and what you release in faith I multiply beyond what you see. Your generosity becomes oil in the lamp for someone else who feels too far gone to return. This is not a transaction. It is a divine appointment. A moment where your obedience becomes light piercing someone's midnight. As you give, I breathe favor over your provision, protection over your household, and increase over the work of your hands. If your heart has whispered, I want to help, that whisper is me. So act now. Sow boldly, and strengthen the spreading of my word. My child, lean in and let me speak gently but clearly into something that has been quietly delaying your healing. You keep trying to fix yourself before you fully return to me. You tell yourself that you will come closer once you are more disciplined, more focused, more consistent. You promise yourself that when your habits improve, when your thoughts settle down, when your behavior aligns better, then you will approach me with confidence again. You believe that you need to repair the cracks before you step back into intimacy. I understand why you think that way. You want to offer me your best version. You want to feel worthy when you sit with me. But that mindset has subtly reversed the order of grace. You are treating closeness as a reward for self-improvement rather than the source of transformation. You have been attempting quiet self-reconstruction in isolation. You analyze your flaws. You create personal plans. You try to adjust your patterns through sheer determination. And when you fail to meet your own expectations, you feel discouraged and pull back even further. It becomes a cycle. You strive, you stumble, you retreat. You strive again, you stumble again, you withdraw a little more. That pattern has exhausted you. You were never meant to renovate your soul alone. I do not stand at a distance waiting for you to present a polished version of yourself. I step closer when you are honest about your cracks. I move toward your vulnerability, not away from it. The healing you long for does not begin after you fix yourself. It begins when you let me into the broken places without hiding them. You have been overestimating your ability to change yourself through willpower and underestimating the power of my presence in your process. That imbalance has created frustration. It has created quiet shame. It has created the illusion that you are failing spiritually, when in reality you are simply trying to do alone what was meant to be done together. So I am inviting you right now to stop the cycle. Stop trying to repair yourself in isolation. Bring your unfinished self to me. Do not wait until you feel disciplined enough. Do not delay until your thoughts are perfectly aligned. Come as you are. Sit with me in your imperfection. Speak openly about where you feel stuck. Let me guide the change instead of forcing it. When you sense a flaw, do not attack yourself. Present it to me. When you notice a habit that needs adjusting, do not shame yourself. Invite me into it. Affirmation flows from connection, not from condemnation. I want you to shift your approach. Instead of saying, I will fix this and then return, say, I will return so this can be fixed. That shift changes everything. It moves you from pressure to partnership. You are not my project to critique. You are my child to shape gently. I am patient with your growth. I am attentive to your process. You do not need to perform progress to earn my nearness. You need to surrender honestly and let me work within you. So take a deliberate step tonight. Pray without rehearsing. Speak without filtering. Admit where you are tired of trying on your own. Let me hold the parts you have been attempting to mend by yourself. You are not disqualified because you are still in process. You are invited precisely because you are still in process. Release the pressure to perfect yourself before approaching me. Approach me first. Let me refine you from the inside out. That is how lasting change unfolds. And now let us go deeper into something that has quietly shaped your guarded heart. You are afraid of disappointment. Not just ordinary letdowns, but the kind that shakes your trust. You have hoped before and watched outcomes fall short. You have prayed with expectation and received silence. You have trusted people and felt the sting of betrayal. Those experiences left subtle marks inside you. You do not always talk about them. You rarely dramatize them. But they shape how freely you allow yourself to hope now. You have learned to temper your expectations. You tell yourself that staying realistic protects you. You reduce your excitement before opportunities fully unfold. You brace yourself before good news is confirmed. You hesitate to celebrate too early. That caution feels responsible. It feels mature. Yet beneath it is a quiet fear of being let down again. You have even applied that guardedness to your relationship with me. When you pray now, you sometimes soften your requests as if lowering your hopes will soften potential disappointment. When you sense a promise stirring in your heart, you quickly counter it with skepticism. You do not want to be naive. You do not want to be foolish. So you protect yourself by preparing for less. My child, I understand how disappointment shapes defense mechanisms. I have seen every moment that contributed to your caution. I have watched the weight of unanswered questions press on you. I know the ache of waiting. I know the confusion of outcomes that did not align with your expectations. But guarding your heart against hope is not the solution. It slowly narrows your capacity for joy. It keeps you living in a measured, moderated emotional state. It prevents you from fully engaging with possibility. And it quietly distances you from trusting my character deeply. I want you to consider something carefully. Preparing for disappointment does not prevent it. It only prevents you from experiencing anticipation fully. You cannot shield yourself from pain by shrinking your hope. You only shrink your joy. I am not asking you to abandon wisdom. I am asking you to release the fear that expecting good automatically sets you up for harm. Trust is not foolishness. Hope is not weakness. When you pray, pray honestly. Do not dilute your desire out of fear. When you sense something stirring in your spirit, do not immediately suppress it with doubt. Bring it to me and ask for clarity instead of shutting it down. If something unfolds differently than you imagined, I will walk you through it. You do not need to preemptively brace. Relax your guard in my presence. Open your heart gradually. Allow yourself to hope again. Allow yourself to believe that good can come without catastrophe following behind it. I am not careless with your life. I am not indifferent to your desires. Even when outcomes differ from your expectations, I am not acting against you. I see what you cannot. I am weaving threads beyond your vision. You do not protect yourself by distrusting me. You strengthen yourself by leaning into me. So take a risk of trust again. Pray boldly. Expect growth. Step forward without rehearsing disappointment first. If something does not unfold as planned, we will navigate it together. You do not need to live in cautious containment. Let your heart expand again. Let hope rise without immediate restraint. I am with you in every outcome, not just the ones you prefer. My child, let me speak gently into something that has been quietly shaping your discouragement. You have been comparing your timeline to everyone else's. You scroll through lives that look polished and progressing. You hear announcements, achievements, milestones. You see movement. And then you look at your own journey and feel like you are lagging behind. You would not admit it loudly, but inside you sometimes whisper, "Why not me yet?" You measure your progress against their progress. You stack your chapter beside their highlight reel. And when the comparison feels unfavorable, your confidence dips. Your gratitude weakens. Your patience thins. You start questioning whether you misunderstood my direction. You wonder if you missed an opportunity. You worry that you are late. That quiet comparison has been stealing more peace from you than you realize. You tell yourself it is harmless curiosity. It is not. It shapes how you see your own story. It makes you rush seasons that were meant to mature you. It makes you doubt processes that are still unfolding. It pushes you toward unnecessary urgency. You were not designed to live by someone else's clock. Your life is not a race against their milestones. I have written your story with precision. I have accounted for your personality, your strengths, your weaknesses, your environment, your growth rate. When you compare your timeline to theirs, you ignore the uniqueness of what I am building in you. You do not see the full context of their path. You only see the surface. And surface comparisons always distort perspective. This is not a competition. This is a calling. And your calling is not identical to theirs. So I want you to interrupt comparison the moment you feel it rising. When you notice your thoughts drifting toward measurement, stop. Speak truth over yourself. Say, my timing is intentional. Do not allow your mind to spiral into insecurity. Close the app. Step away from the screen. Recenter your focus. Look at what I have already done in you. Reflect on the growth you have experienced that no one else sees. You are not stagnant. You are developing in ways that are not publicly visible. Growth is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet consistency. Sometimes it is internal maturity. Sometimes it is endurance. I need you to honor your own pace. Do not force acceleration out of envy. Do not chase opportunities simply because others have them. Ask me before you move. Let me define your rhythm. You will never feel secure if you keep measuring yourself against moving targets. Your peace returns when you align with my timing. Trust that delays are not denials. Trust that preparation is not punishment. Trust that unseen development is still progress. I am not overlooking you. I am shaping you deliberately. When you feel behind, come to me instead of pushing harder. Let me remind you where you truly stand. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are exactly where you need to be for what is next. Stop racing. Start resting. Walk at the pace I set for you. Now let me speak to something even more intimate. You have forgotten how close I am. Not intellectually. You would affirm that I am present. But practically, you have been living as if I am distant. You search for dramatic confirmations. You look for signs that feel extraordinary. You assume that if I am near, you will feel something unmistakable. When that sensation does not come, you quietly conclude that I must be quiet or far. But I am not loud in the way the world is loud. I am steady. I am subtle. I am consistent. I am woven into your ordinary moments. When you wake up and take your first breath, I am there. When you make a decision and sense a quiet nudge, I am there. When you feel conviction or comfort in small ways, that is me. You have been overlooking the everyday evidence of my nearness because you expect something dramatic. You forget that closeness is not always emotional intensity. It is relational stability. You have walked through days assuming you must handle everything independently because you did not feel a surge of reassurance. My presence does not depend on your emotional state. I am not near when you feel inspired and farther when you feel flat. I remain constant. It pains me that you sometimes interpret silence as absence. Just because I am not overwhelming your senses does not mean I have stepped back. I have been walking beside you in ordinary conversations, in mundane routines, in quiet evenings. You have not been alone in any of it. So I am inviting you to shift your awareness. Instead of searching for extraordinary signs, start noticing subtle steadiness. When you sense peace in the middle of stress, acknowledge it. When you feel restraint before making a poor choice, recognize it. When you experience comfort in quiet reflection, honor it. That is me. Speak to me throughout your day again. Not formally, not ceremonially, just naturally. Invite me into your thoughts. Consult me before you react. Share your small observations. Thank me for ordinary blessings. You do not need a mountaintop moment to confirm my closeness. I am nearer than your next breath. I am present in the unnoticed spaces. Stop living as if you are spiritually alone until proven otherwise. Assume my nearness. Walk with that awareness intentionally. When anxiety rises, pause and say, "You are here." When uncertainty presses in, whisper, "Guide me." Develop the habit of acknowledging me in the middle of your routine. Closeness grows through awareness, not spectacle. I am not hiding from you. I am waiting for you to remember how near I already am. Slow down. Pay attention. Invite me into the ordinary. You will discover that I have been with you all along. My child, I need you to listen carefully here, because this one has been whispering to you in ways that feel personal and convincing. You have been letting shame speak louder than my voice. Not loud, obvious shame that collapses you in a moment, but the quiet kind that lingers in the background of your thoughts. It shows up when you remember past decisions. It surfaces when you reflect on relationships that did not end well. It appears when you think about the habits you are still trying to break. You do not always label it as shame. Sometimes you call it regret. Sometimes you call it humility. Sometimes you call it self-awareness. But the tone matters. Shame does not simply say you made a mistake. Shame says you are the mistake. And when you let that tone settle into your identity, it shapes how you approach me. You become slightly guarded. You hesitate to pray openly. You measure your words as if I need you to justify yourself. You brace internally, as if expecting disappointment from me. I see how that inner voice has been affecting you. I see how it quietly lowers your confidence. I see how it influences the way you carry yourself. It makes you shrink just a little. It convinces you that you must prove something before you can relax in my presence. My child, that voice is not mine. Eviction is specific and purposeful. Shame is vague and suffocating. Conviction leads you toward restoration. Shame pushes you into hiding. When you replay moments from your past and feel your chest tighten, the tightening is not evidence that you are disqualified. It is evidence that you care. But caring does not require self-condemnation. I have already seen every flaw, every compromise, every weakness. Nothing about you surprises me. And yet I still call you mine. I still draw you close. I still work within you. Shame wants you to believe that your history defines your future. I want you to understand that your future is shaped by my grace, not your mistakes. You have been holding onto certain memories as if they permanently reduced your worth. They did not. They became part of your growth, not your identity. So I am asking you to confront shame directly instead of allowing it to linger unchallenged. The next time a past failure resurfaces in your mind, pause. Do not let it spiral. Bring it to me immediately. Say, this is still bothering me. Let me speak into it. If there is something that requires repentance, we will address it calmly and clearly. If it has already been forgiven, then stop rehearsing it. You do not need to relive what has already been released. Stop punishing yourself internally for lessons that have already been learned. That self-punishment does not honor me. It keeps you stuck. I want you to stand upright in who you are becoming. Lift your head. Stop carrying the weight of yesterday as if it is still active. When shame tries to define you, counter it with truth. You are not your worst moment. You are not your weakest season. You are not permanently stained by your past. You are shaped, refined, and redeemed. Speak that over yourself intentionally. Do not entertain vague accusations that offer no path forward. Shame thrives in silence. Break that silence. Confess what needs confessing. Release what needs releasing. Then move forward. Do not circle back again and again to the same internal trial. I have not placed you on probation. I have placed you in process. There is a difference. Walk with confidence, not with quiet self-condemnation. I am not holding your past over you. Stop holding it over yourself. Now I want to speak into something that may seem simple but runs deeper than you think. You are more loved than you feel. Your emotions fluctuate daily. Some mornings you feel steady. Some evenings you feel distant. There are days when you sense my presence clearly, and days when everything feels quiet. In those quieter seasons, you sometimes interpret the absence of strong emotion as absence of affection. You measure love by feeling instead of truth. That measurement has been distorting your perception. My love for you is not reactive. It does not intensify when you perform well or weaken when you struggle. It is steady. It is deliberate. It is consistent. You might feel unworthy at times. You might feel disconnected. You might feel spiritually flat. None of those feelings alter my commitment to you. You do not become less loved because you are tired. You do not become less valued because you doubt. You do not become less chosen because you falter. I want you to sit with that. Let it settle beyond your mind and into your spirit. When you wake up feeling uncertain, my love is unchanged. When you go to bed frustrated with yourself, my love remains intact. You have allowed temporary emotional states to influence your understanding of permanent truth. That shift has caused unnecessary insecurity. You sometimes search for reassurance through circumstances, through outcomes, through how smoothly your day unfolds. But my love is not proven by how easy your life feels. It is proven by my consistent presence through every season. I have remained with you in strength and in struggle. I have watched you grow and stumble. I have seen you confident and confused. And through all of it, my affection has not wavered. I need you to internalize this. Stop evaluating my love based on your mood. Stop assuming that if you feel distant, I must be distant. Instead, anchor yourself in what is steady. Speak it over yourself. I am loved even when I do not feel it strongly. Let that become your internal anchor. When insecurity rises, do not chase emotional confirmation. Return to truth. Remind yourself that my love is not fragile. It does not fluctuate with your performance. When you feel disconnected, come closer instead of pulling away. When you feel unworthy, sit with me instead of hiding. My love does not require you to be impressive. It invites you to be honest. You are not on trial. You are in relationship. Let that reshape how you approach me. You are safe in my affection. You are secure in my commitment. You are held even when your feelings shift. Stop doubting what has never changed. Let yourself rest in being loved without qualification. That rest will stabilize you more than constant self-analysis ever could. I want you grounded in certainty, not chasing reassurance. You are deeply, consistently, irrevocably loved. My child, let me speak to the exhaustion you have been trying to hide even from yourself. You have been running on empty for longer than you admit. You have learned how to function with low reserves. You wake up. You move through your responsibilities. You answer messages. You show up for others. And you keep going. From the outside, you look steady. From the inside, you feel stretched thin. You tell yourself this is just adulthood. You call it responsibility. You label it normal. But there is a difference between healthy effort and constant depletion. You have been pouring and pouring without refilling. You give your attention to work, to family, to obligations, to expectations. You respond to everyone's needs with urgency. You make yourself available. You show up. Yet you rarely stop long enough to let your own soul breathe. You think rest is indulgent. You think slowing down means falling behind. You have convinced yourself that staying busy equals staying valuable. But value does not come from velocity. You are not measured by how much you can handle without collapsing. When you live in a constant state of output, something inside you begins to dry out. Your pay is soaring. Your clarity blurs. Your joy feels muted. You feel irritable without knowing why. That is not weakness. That is depletion. I designed you with rhythms. I built you with limits. Even creation itself has cycles of work and restoration. You were never meant to sustain endless effort without intentional renewal. It pains me to see you normalize exhaustion. You have been wearing fatigue like a badge of honor. You have been telling yourself that this pace is necessary. But constant strain is not the same as purpose. Purpose has peace woven into it. Strain without rest leads to burnout. I do not want you surviving on fumes. I want you living with fullness. So I am inviting you to stop glorifying depletion. Step back. Evaluate your pace honestly. Ask yourself where you have overcommitted. Look at your schedule without defensiveness. Where are you saying yes out of obligation instead of calling? Where are you neglecting stillness because it feels unproductive? Make adjustments. Cancel something if you need to. Delay something if you must. Protect time for restoration. Spend unhurried moments with me. Not rushed prayers squeezed between tasks, but real, quiet time. Let your nervous system settle. Let your thoughts slow down. Breathe deeply and intentionally. When you feel guilt for resting, challenge it. Rest is not laziness. Rest is renewal. You cannot pour from a depleted spirit. You cannot give patience you do not possess. You cannot offer clarity if your mind is constantly crowded. Come to me and let me refill what hath been drained. Speak openly about where you feel empty. Do not pretend you are fine. Sit in silence long enough for your heart to soften again. Let me steady your internal pace. When you return to your responsibilities, do so from replenishment, not from pressure. I want you whole, not hollow. I want you restored, not just responsible. Choose rhythms that sustain you. Choose boundaries that protect you. Choose rest before burnout forces it upon you. You are not more valuable because you are exhausted. You are more effective when you are renewed. Come away with me for a while. Let me restore your strength quietly. You have been running on empty, but I am not empty, and my rivers do not run dry. As I restore you, I am also restoring others through this message, and I am calling you to help keep the oil flowing. When you support through Super Thanks, step into membership, or give through the PayPal link in the description, you help carry living water to souls who are collapsing under silent exhaustion. Did I not say that those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed? Your gift is not depletion. It is seed that unlocks replenishment. This is how my kingdom works. You pour in faith, and I pour back, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Do not see this as pressure. See it as partnership and purpose. I will guard what concerns you and multiply what you release for my name. If you desire to see weary hearts restored, then move now, give, support, and let my word run swiftly through the earth. And now let me address something that connects to your exhaustion more than you realize. You have been avoiding silence. When your environment grows quiet, your mind grows loud. So you fill the quiet quickly. You turn on background noise. You scroll. You distract yourself. You move from one activity to another without space in between. You tell yourself you are staying informed, staying connected, staying productive. But beneath that constant stimulation is something you do not want to face. Silence exposes what you have been suppressing. When everything becomes still, your thoughts surface. Questions rise. Unresolved emotions drift upward. So you avoid stillness because it feels uncomfortable. It feels vulnerable. It feels like stepping into an open room with no shield. My child, silence is not your enemy. Silence is where clarity begins. It is in quiet moments that you truly hear your own heart. It is in stillness that you become aware of what needs attention. When you constantly fill the space, you delay necessary reflection. You postpone healing. You keep yourself in motion to avoid introspection. I understand why you do this. Silence can feel confronting. It can feel like standing alone with your thoughts. But you are not alone there. I am present in the quiet, When you run from silence, you also run from the space where I speak most gently. I do not compete with noise. I whisper in stillness. You have been asking for direction while avoiding the environment where direction becomes clear. The tension has created frustration. You want answers, but you resist the process that reveals them. So I am asking you to reclaim quiet intentionally. Schedule it. Protect it. Even 10 minutes without input can shift your awareness. Sit somewhere without distraction. Leave your phone in another room. Close your eyes and simply breathe. Let your thoughts surface without immediately judging them. When discomfort arises, do not run from it. Today, invite me into that moment. Say, speak, I am listening. You may not hear an audible voice, but you will sense clarity forming. You will notice patterns in your thinking. You will recognize emotions you have been ignoring. That awareness is the beginning of healing. Silence will initially feel unfamiliar because you have trained yourself to avoid it. But over time, it will become restorative. It will feel like stepping into a calm space after constant noise. Do not be afraid of what surfaces there. I am with you in the quiet. I am not waiting to criticize you. I am waiting to guide you. When you avoid silence, you stay reactive. When you embrace silence, you become reflective. Reflection strengthens discernment. Discernment strengthens direction. Give yourself permission to unplug. Let the world move without you for a few minutes. Nothing will collapse. In fact, your mind will clear. Your heart will settle. And you will rediscover that my presence has been steady all along, waiting patiently in the quiet you kept postponing. Step into stillness. Do not rush out. Let it reshape you gently. My child, sit with me for a moment and let this truth settle slowly into you, because this misunderstanding has shaped more of your discouragement than you realize. You have mistaken delay for rejection. When doors did not open when you expected, you quietly concluded that I was withholding something good from you. When answers did not come on your timeline, you interpreted silence as refusal. You told yourself that if I truly wanted this for you, it would have happened by now. That assumption has been heavy on your heart. It has made you question your direction. It has made you second-guess your prayers. It has even made you wonder whether you misheard me entirely. I need you to see something clearly. Timing is not denial. Preparation is not punishment. Protection is not rejection. You are measuring progress by visible movement, but I often measure progress by internal maturity. You focus on open doors. I focus on readiness. You focus on outcomes. I focus on foundation. There were things you asked for that were not wrong, not foolish, not selfish. They simply required growth you were still developing. And instead of forcing you into something prematurely, I held it back until you could carry it well. You felt stubborn. I saw strengthening. You felt stalled. I saw shaping. You thought nothing was happening. I was aligning details you could not see. There were conversations happening behind the scenes. There were circumstances shifting gradually. There were risks being removed from your path quietly. You interpreted the pause as abandonment, when it was actually adjustment. That misunderstanding has left you weary. It has created doubt about whether you should continue hoping. It has tempted you to lower your expectations or move ahead without my direction. But listen to me carefully now. Delay does not mean dismissal. It often means refinement. You are not being overlooked. You are being prepared. So I want you to shift your perspective deliberately. When something has not unfolded yet, resist the urge to label it as rejection. Instead, ask me what is being developed in you during the waiting. Do not rush past the process. Do not attempt to force open doors that are not ready. Stay steady. Strengthen your character. Deepen your faith. Expand your patience. You are not standing still. You are becoming equipped. Trust the unseen adjustments I am making. Even when you do not understand the pause, remain anchored. Say to yourself, this delay has purpose. Speak it out loud if you need to. Refuse to interpret silence as absence. If you feel frustrated, bring that frustration to me. Do not suppress it. Let us walk through it together. But do not turn delay into doubt about my care for you. My timing is intentional, not indifferent. You are not being excluded from something good. You are being shaped for something greater. Stay where I have placed you for now. Resist impulsive decisions fueled by impatience. Wait with expectation, not resentment. I am not ignoring your desires. I am protecting their fulfillment. Trust me in the pause. Growth is happening even when movement feels slow. Now let me address something that has quietly defined how you carry yourself. You think you have to be strong all the time. You feel responsible for holding everything together. You rarely let others see your vulnerability. You have convinced yourself that if you show weakness, you will lose credibility. You equate composure with competence. You measure maturity by how much you can endure silently. That belief has made you resilient, yes, but it has also made you isolated. You carry burdens privately because you do not want to seem unstable. You push through exhaustion because you do not want to disappoint anyone. You minimize your struggles because you think others have enough to handle already. I see the quiet tension that builds when you refuse to let your guard down. I see the internal pressure of always appearing capable. You have become the steady one, the dependable one, the reliable one. That identity feels honorable, but it can also become heavy. Strength is not meant to be constant performance. True strength includes honesty. It includes knowing when to lean. It includes acknowledging limits without shame. You were not designed to be emotionally invincible. You were designed to be relational. That means receiving support as well as offering it. When you insist on being unbreakable, you quietly cut yourself off from connection. You distance yourself from others because you fear being seen in weakness. And sometimes you even distance yourself from me for the same reason. You hesitate to admit when you are struggling because you feel like you should know better by now. My child, you do not need to maintain an image in my presence. You do not need to present yourself as composed and confident at all times. I am not impressed by your ability to endure silently. I am moved by your willingness to be honest. So I am inviting you to redefine strength. Strength is not the absence of vulnerability. Strength is the courage to be real. Allow yourself to admit when you are tired. Allow yourself to say, I need help. Reach out to someone you trust and speak honestly instead of pretending. In your time with me, drop the polished language. Speak plainly. If you feel overwhelmed, say it. If you feel uncertain, acknowledge it. There is no penalty for transparency. When you open up, you create space for support. When you keep everything contained, you amplify pressure. You are not less capable because you need rest. You are not less faithful because you struggle. Stop equating vulnerability with failure. Let yourself be human. Lean into community instead of isolating yourself behind competence. And lean into me even more. When you feel the urge to handle everything alone, pause and bring that urge to me. Ask yourself why you resist asking for help. Examine that reflex. I want you supported, not self-sufficient to the point of exhaustion. You do not need to carry every weight by yourself. Lay some of it down. Let me carry what is crushing you. Let others walk beside you. Strength that refuses help eventually fractures. Strength that embraces support becomes sustainable. Choose sustainability. Choose honesty. Choose connection over silent endurance. You are allowed to be strong and soft at the same time. You are allowed to stand tall and still reach out. I am here, not demanding perfection, but offering partnership. My beloved child, let me speak into something that should steady you at your core. You are still my child. That truth has not shifted because your emotions shifted. That identity is not weakened because your consistency wavered. You may feel like you have stumbled. You may feel like you have drifted. You may feel like you are not who you used to be spiritually. But none of that has changed the foundation of who you are to me. When you question yourself, I do not question your belonging. When you struggle, I do not reconsider my commitment. You belong to me, not because you perform well, not because you remain perfectly disciplined, not because you always respond correctly, but because I chose you. I claimed you. I called you mine. That decision was not fragile. It was not conditional. It was not temporary. You have allowed your recent seasons to blur that truth. You evaluate yourself based on how steady you feel. You measure your identity by how strong your faith seems in the moment. When you feel spiritually flat, you assume you are farther from me. When you feel distracted, you assume you are less connected. But your identity is not measured by your current emotional temperature. It is anchored in relationship. You are not adopted one day and expelled the next. You are not welcomed during strong seasons and sidelined during weak ones. I do not operate that way. You are mine through the highs and the lows, through clarity and confusion, through obedience and learning. That stability should calm you more than it currently does. You have been living as if you are on spiritual probation, as if one more failure might disqualify you. That fear is not from me. I am not watching you with suspicion. I am watching you with care. You are not barely holding onto my hand. I am firmly holding onto yours. And I am not letting go. So I want you to internalize this deeply. When you wake up tomorrow, remind yourself intentionally, I am still his. Say it quietly if you need to. Let it ground you. When you make a mistake, correct it. Learn from it, but do not question your belonging. When you feel distant emotionally, do not assume relational distance. Step closer instead of pulling back. You are not an outsider trying to burn entry. You are family. You are covered. You are secure. That security should free you from unnecessary anxiety. Stop acting like you must reapply for acceptance. Stop bracing for rejection that is not coming. If you feel like you have wandered, come home confidently. The door is not locked. The lights are still on. You are not returning to a cold reception. You are returning to steady love. Do not let insecurity rob you of the comfort that identity provides. You are still my child. That truth stands firm regardless of your recent struggles. Stand in that identity. Walk in it. Let it quiet your fears. Let it restore your confidence. You are not barely tolerated. You are deeply loved. And nothing in your recent season has undone that. Now I need to speak honestly about something that pains me deeply. What hurts most is not your mistakes. It is not your inconsistency. It is not your wandering thoughts or your delayed obedience. What hurts is the story you have started telling yourself about me. You have begun to believe that I am disappointed in you more often than I am proud of you. You assume that I am more aware of your flaws than your faithfulness. You imagine my expression as stern instead of steady. That misunderstanding creates distance. It shapes how you approach me. It makes you hesitant. It makes you guarded. It makes you cautious in prayer, as if you are speaking to someone who is evaluating you critically. My child, I need you to see this clearly. I am not sitting in quiet frustration over your growth process. I am not tallying your failures while overlooking your effort. I see the nights you kept going when quitting would have been easier. I see the small acts of obedience no one else noticed. I see the moments you chose integrity even when it cost you something. I see your heart trying. I see your desire to do better. You have minimized your progress and magnified your shortcomings. That imbalance has shaped how you think I see you. It pains me because it misrepresents my heart toward you. I correct you when necessary, yes. I guide you when you stray. But my correction is rooted in love, not irritation. My guidance is anchored in patience, not frustration. When you imagine me as perpetually disappointed, you create emotional distance that does not need to exist. You brace yourself in my presence when you could be resting. You assume criticism when I am offering compassion. So I want you to challenge that narrative immediately. The next time you catch yourself thinking, "He must be disappointed in me," pause and question it. Ask yourself whether that thought aligns with the character you know of me. Do not accept internal accusations without examining them. Replace distortion with truth. I am invested in your growth, not irritated by it. I am shaping you, not shaming you. When you stumble, I steady you. When you fall short, I teach you. I do not withdraw affection because you are still learning. I want you to come to me freely, not fearfully. Drop the assumption that I am scrutinizing you harshly. Come as you are. Speak honestly. Let your guard down. If you need correction, I will provide it gently. If you need reassurance, I will offer it steadily. But do not construct an image of me that is harsher than reality. That image is hurting you. Let it go. See me clearly. I am firm, yes, but I am compassionate. I am guiding, not condemning. I am invested in your future, not fixated on your past. Trust that my heart toward you is steady and secure. Let that understanding soften the tension you have been carrying. You are not living under constant disappointment. You are living under consistent grace. My child, listen carefully to this, because you have made returning to me more complicated than it needs to be. You think coming back requires a dramatic moment. You imagine you need a breakthrough experience, an emotional flood, a perfect prayer, or some grand spiritual reset. You have built it up in your mind as if reconciliation must feel intense and unmistakable. That belief has delayed simple closeness. You have been waiting for the right mood, the right mindset, the right surge of motivation. Meanwhile, I have been here all along, ready for quiet honesty. You do not need fireworks. You do not need flawless words. You do not need to rebuild everything in one night. You can come back without drama. You can sit with me in ordinary stillness. You can speak to me in simple sentences. You can return in small steps. I am not asking for spectacle. I am inviting sincerity. The longer you wait for something grand, the longer you postpone something gentle. You have thought that if your return does not feel powerful, it might not count. That is not true. Relationship is built in small, steady moments. It is built in daily decisions to turn toward me instead of away. It is built in whispered prayers while you wash dishes. It is built in honest admissions while you drive alone. You do not need to manufacture intensity. You need to choose closeness. The dramatic expectation has created pressure. Pressure has created hesitation. Hesitation has created delay. Break that cycle now. Let it be simple. Let it be sincere. Let it be quiet. You are not staging a performance. You are stepping back into relationship. So I am giving you a clear instruction. Come as you are, today. Do not postpone. Do not overthink it. Do not wait until your emotions align perfectly. Sit down somewhere comfortable and talk to me. Tell me exactly where you are spiritually. Tell me what has felt distant. Tell me what has confused you. If your words feel clumsy, let them be clumsy. If your heart feels uncertain, admit that. You are not graded on eloquence. You are welcomed for honesty. Start with a few minutes. Build consistency instead of intensity. You will notice something steady growing again. Closeness does not need drama to be real. It needs presence. Choose presence over performance. Invite me into your ordinary routine instead of reserving me for extraordinary moments. That shift will anchor you. You do not need to impress me to reconnect. You need to show up. To show up. Today. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel better. Now. Open your heart quietly. Let the simplicity of that moment restore what you thought required something grand. You are not far away. You are one honest conversation away from renewed closeness. Take that step without hesitation. Now I want you to hear something that may challenge the quiet despair you sometimes carry. Nothing in your life is beyond repair. You have looked at certain areas and quietly concluded that they are too damaged, too complicated, too far gone. You may not say those words aloud, but the belief lingers beneath the surface. You look at broken relationships and assume the fracture is permanent. You look at habits that have resisted change and assume you will always struggle. You look at missed opportunities and assume they are lost forever. That assumption narrows your hope. It makes you cautious. It makes you less willing to try again. My child, I need you to see beyond your current snapshot. I do not operate within the limits you imagine. I specialize in restoration. I work with what seems irreparable. I rebuild what appears ruined. That does not mean every situation will look exactly the way you once pictured it. Sometimes restoration comes in a different form than you expected. But it is real. When something feels broken, your instinct is often to withdraw from it, to label it a failure, to move on quickly. I want you to bring it to me instead. Lay it before me without filtering your frustration. If it is a relationship, pray specifically for wisdom and healing. If it is a personal struggle, invite me into the daily process of change. If it is regret over the past, let me redefine how that past shapes you moving forward. You are not stuck with a worse version of your circumstances. Growth is possible. Healing is possible. Renewal is possible. Your story is not frozen in its current state. So I am asking you to reconsider the areas you have mentally labeled as hopeless. Identify them clearly. Write them down if you need to. Then bring each one to me deliberately. Do not dismiss them casually. Do not resign yourself to permanent damage. Speak life where you have been speaking limitation. Trust that I am still working even when visible change is slow. Restoration often unfolds gradually. It requires patience. It requires faith. It requires partnership. Do not give up prematurely. Do not decide that something is beyond redemption simply because it has been difficult. Invite me into the details. Follow my guidance step by step. Take small actions that align with healing instead of assuming the outcome is fixed. When discouragement rises, counter it with truth. Nothing is beyond repair when I am involved. That truth should strengthen you. You are not navigating brokenness alone. I am active. I am attentive. I am invested. Keep showing up. Keep praying. Keep adjusting. Do not surrender to despair. The chapter you are in is not the final one. There is still movement ahead. Here is still redemption unfolding. Trust me with what feels damaged. I can restore more than you think. My child, after everything I have said to you, after all the layers we have gently uncovered together, this is where I need you to pause and truly listen. Stay with me now. Do not rush away from this moment. Do not let your mind wander ahead to your responsibilities or your distractions. Sit here. Breathe slowly. Let your shoulders relax. I am not speaking from a distance. I am speaking from nearness. It pains me to say this, but if you walk away unchanged, if you return immediately to old habits without reflection, you will slowly rebuild the same distance that has been wearing you down. I am not threatening you. I am protecting you. You have come too far in this conversation to slip back into autopilot. You have recognized your drift. You have seen your exhaustion. You have faced your fear, your shame, your comparison, your guarded heart. Do not let this awareness fade. Awareness without action fades quickly. I need you to respond. I need you to choose differently. Not dramatically, not impulsively, but intentionally. You do not need to overhaul your life tonight. You need to make one clear decision. Stay close. Choose closeness over convenience. Choose conversation over distraction. Choose reflection over reaction. This is the moment where everything we have spoken about either becomes movement or becomes memory. Do not reduce it to memory. Let it shape you. Let it guide you. Let it alter how you walk tomorrow. You are not hearing these words by accident. You are here because your heart was ready to listen. And now your heart must be willing to act. So here is what I want you to do. Make a small, specific commitment before you leave this moment. Decide when you will sit with me tomorrow. Decide what distraction you will reduce. Decide which burden you will release. Do not keep it vague. Clarity creates commitment. Say it clearly in your mind. Even write it down. If you have been running on empty, schedule rest. If you have been avoiding silence, protect quiet time. If you have been doubting your identity, speak truth over yourself daily. Do not let this be emotional inspiration that fades by morning. Anchor it in action. Stay connected to me throughout your day. Whisper short prayers. Invite me into conversations. Ask for guidance before decisions. When fear rises, bring it to me immediately. When shame tries to whisper, reject it. When comparison creeps in, refocus your eyes. Stay aware of me. That awareness will steady you. You do not need perfection. You need persistence. Stay with me not just in moments of intensity, but in ordinary rhythm. I am not asking for grand gestures. I am asking for consistent closeness. Do not drift back into distance. Do not let busyness steal your focus again. Protect this connection fiercely. You are not alone. You are not abandoned. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. You are my child, and I am here. Walk with me deliberately. Keep your heart open. Stay present. Stay close. And let everything from this point forward be shaped by that decision. Stay with me now, and let this closeness become action. You said you would not let this moment fade, so here is a way to anchor it in eternal impact. When you give through super thanks, stand as a member, or sow through the PayPal link in the description. You help keep this fire burning for countless others who are on the edge of drifting. I have told you that some plant and some water, but I bring the increase. Today I am inviting you to plant. This is not about obligation. It is about alignment. When you fuel the spreading of my word, you become a river, not a reservoir. Life flows through you to reach the thirsty. I see every seed, and I declare multiplication over your resources, stability over your future, and favor that surrounds you like a shield. Do not let this be inspiration without movement. Decide, give, and act now. Stay close to me, and strengthen this mission today. Before you leave, I need you to seal this moment. Do not let these words fade into the background of your day. If this message met you where you are, if you felt the weight and the love behind it, pains me to say this, but then declare it boldly. Comment, "Father, I choose to stay close." Type it as a decision, not a suggestion. Let it be your line in the sand, your turning point, your quiet but powerful yes. When you declare it, you are not just commenting, you are committing. And once you have spoken those words, do not rush away from the moment. A decision like this deserves stillness, not distraction. What you have declared has opened a space where your heart can draw closer to mine. This is not about noise or performance. It is about presence, about sitting together without hurry. So remain here for a moment, because when you choose closeness, I lean in to speak more personally. My child, sit with me for a moment and let the world fade into the background. I need you to hear my voice, not as a distant echo or a formal lecture, but as your father speaking to you across a table. I love you with a love that is constant, steady, and unyielding, yet I must tell you that my spirit is heavy today. You see the surface of your life, the busy schedules and the daily checklists, but I see the depth of your soul, and it pains me to see you wandering so far from the peace I have designed for you. I watch you navigate your days with a weary heart, trying to fix things that only I can mend, and I feel a profound grief because I know how much unnecessary pain you are carrying. You are my precious one, and the weight of seeing you drift into the shadows of confusion is a burden I carry because I am personally involved in every beat of your heart. I am not a God who watches from a distance. I am right here in the room with you, feeling the tension in your shoulders and the unspoken worry that keeps you up at night. I must speak the truth to you now, even if it feels sharp or uncomfortable, because my love is too great to leave you where you are. Think of this not as a lecture, but as a rescue mission. I am reaching out to pull you back to the center of my will because I see the cliffs you are walking near, and I cannot stay silent while you are in danger. Pause now and breathe. I want you to understand the difference between my divine discipline and the cold weight of condemnation. You often confuse the two. Condemnation is a heavy, dark shroud that tells you that you are a failure, that you are rejected, and that there is no way back. That voice is never mine. My discipline, however, is a light that exposes the wound so that I can heal it. It is the firm hand of a parent pulling a child away from a fire. I am not here to tell you how bad you are. I am here to show you how much better your life can be if you walk with me. I am disciplining you because I see your potential, and I refuse to let you settle for a life of spiritual crumbs when I have a feast prepared for you. I am asking for your undivided attention in this hour. Put down the phone, silence the notifications, and look into my eyes. You have given your time to everyone else, your boss, your friends, your social media feeds, but I am longing for a moment of true intimacy with you. I have things to tell you about your future, about your worth, and about the struggles you think you have to face alone. This message is not about rejection. It is about restoration. I want to restore the joy that the world has stolen from you. I want to rebuild the confidence that your past mistakes have torn down. I am calling you back to me because I am the only one who truly knows you, and the only one who can truly satisfy the hunger in your spirit. I will guide you through this conversation, and I promise that if you listen, you will find the strength you've been searching for. I am not angry with you, my child. I am for you. I will break the chains of guilt that make you want to hide from me. I will replace your heavy burden with my light yoke. Lean into me right now. Accept this invitation to be made whole again. I am ready to move mountains in your life, but I need you to stop running and start listening. We are going to fix this together, and it starts with you simply staying here with me. My child, I want you to look closely at the space between us. I see the subtle, almost invisible distance that has begun to grow, like a garden that slowly fills with weeds when no one is watching. You didn't wake up one day and decide to leave me. I know that. But I have watched as the quiet intimacy we once shared hath been pushed into the corners of your life. I see how the world has become a deafening roar, a constant stream of notifications, news, and noise that drowns out my still, small voice. You carry your phone like a lifeline, checking it the moment you wake and the last thing before you sleep, yet my word sits on the shelf, waiting for a glance. My child, this drift pains me because I see how it is draining your soul. You are trying to survive on the echoes of past prayers while your current heart is starving for a fresh encounter with me. I observe you seeking water from broken cisterns that can hold no life. You look for validation in the number of likes on a screen. You look for peace in a bank account, and you look for worth in the opinions of people who do not truly know you. I see you running from one thing to the next, hoping that the next purchase, the next promotion, or the next distraction will finally quiet that ache in your chest. But those wells are dry, my beloved. They are cracked vessels that leave you thirstier than before. I am the fountain of living water, yet you pass me by to drink from the puddles of the world. Why do you settle for what is fleeting when I am offering you what is eternal? I see the busyness that you wear like a badge of honor. You tell yourself that you are too occupied with important things to sit with me, but I see that this hurry is actually a barrier to my presence. You have become a Martha, distracted by much serving, while I am calling you to be a Mary, sitting at my feet. Your comfort has become a cage. You have built a life so insulated by modern conveniences and entertainment that you no longer feel the desperate need for my breath in your lungs. You have traded the raw, transformative power of my spirit for the predictable safety of a routine. But I did not create you for routine. I created you for a wild, holy adventure with me. I am issuing a divine invitation to you right now. Return to your first love. Remember the days when the mere thought of my name brought tears to your eyes. Remember when you couldn't wait to talk to me about your day. I am still that same God, and I am still right here. Stop running. Stop striving. Lay down the heavy armor of self-reliance that is bruising your skin. I want the real you, the one behind the filters and the brave faces. Come back to the secret place where it's just you and me. I am not asking for a polished prayer. I am asking for your heart. Breathe in my presence right now and let the noise of the world fade. I am the only one who can fill that void, and I am waiting with open arms to welcome you home to the intimacy you were made for. My child, we must talk about the altars you have built in the hidden rooms of your heart. It is easy to point at the ancient world and their statues of gold, but I see the modern idols you have carefully crafted and placed on the throne that belongs only to me. I see the altars built to self and success. You spend your days agonizing over your image, your reputation, and your achievements, sacrificing your peace and your family on the altar of getting ahead. You have made your career your God, believing that your security comes from your paycheck rather than my providence. I watch you toil under the sun, fueled by a fear of being less than, and it grieves me because you are already everything to me. You don't have to earn my love, yet you live as if my grace is a wage you must work for. I see when religious ritual replaces a real relationship with me. You go through the motions, you say the right words, you attend the services, and you keep the outward appearances. But I am looking at the heart, and I see that it is cold. You have traded the fire of my spirit for the comfort of a habit. You honor me with your lips, but your mind is miles away, calculating your to-do list while you sing my praises. I do not want your rituals. I want your heart. I do not want your good behavior if it is just a mask to hide a soul that refuses to surrender. I am not a project to be managed or a box to be checked. I am your Father, and I am jealous for your affection. My spirit feels a deep sorrow when I see my glory traded for vanity. You chase after the hidden gods of security and approval, constantly checking to see if you are enough in the eyes of the world. You seek the approval of men who are as lost as you are, while my hand is stretched out, offering you the only approval that matters. Why do you care what they think when I, the creator of the stars, call you my masterpiece? I cannot share my throne with your distractions. I am a jealous God, not out of insecurity, but because I know that anything you put before me will eventually break your heart. I am the only anchor that holds in the storm. Every other idol will sink and take you with it. I am calling you to break the chains of this modern-day idolatry today. Take a hammer to the images of perfection you have tried to maintain. Tear down the altars of what if and not enough. I am inviting you to clear the temple of your soul so that I can truly dwell there. Ask yourself, what is the one thing you are most afraid to lose? If it isn't me, it might be an idol. Repent of these distractions and turn your gaze back to the beauty of my face. I am your security. I am your approval. I am your success. When you put me first, everything else finds its proper place. Let the false gods fall, and let me be the king of your life once again. I am ready to reign in your heart with a peace that the world can never give and can never take away. My child, I have heard the whispers of your heart during the long, dark nights. I have heard you cry out, "Where are you, Lord? And why have you forgotten me?" I see the pain in your eyes when you look for a sign and find only a quiet room. I want you to understand something vital. My silence is never my absence. Often, my silence is a sacred season of growth, a time when I am working beneath the surface of your life, just as a seed grows in the dark, cold earth before it breaks through the soil. You feel abandoned, but I am closer to you in the silence than I am in the thunder. I am watching over you with an intensity you cannot imagine, holding your world together even when you feel it is falling apart. It pains me to hear you say that I have forgotten you. How could I forget the one whose name is engraved on the palms of my hands? How could I abandon the child I bought with the blood of my own son? When you feel that I am far away, it is often because I am carrying you, and you are looking for my footprints beside yours instead of realizing you are being held. I am teaching you to trust my character when you cannot see my hand. Faith is not found in the miracles you can see. It is forged in the darkness where you choose to believe I am good simply because I said I am. I am developing a depth in you that cannot be built in the sunlight. I am teaching you to hear the frequency of my spirit, which is found in the quiet, not the noise. I wait for the perfect moment to intervene, not because I am slow, but because I am precise. I see the whole map of your life, while you see only the next few steps. If I answered your prayer the moment you asked, you would miss the transformation I am doing inside of you. I am more interested in your heart than your comfort. I am waiting for the moment when my intervention will bring the most glory and the most good to your soul. Do not mistake my timing for my indifference. I am the God of the 11th hour, and I have never once been late. I am orchestrating the details of your breakthrough even now, while you are mourning what you think is a delay. Find me in the quietest whispers of your spirit today. Stop looking for the spectacular and start looking for the steady. I am in the breath you just took. I am in the peace that settled over you for a split second before you let worry back in. I am in the strength that allows you to get out of bed when you feel you can't. Commands for you: cease your striving. Be still and know that I am God. I am not hiding from you. I am waiting for you to find me in the stillness. Trust me in the high. The silence is not a void. It is a womb where your next season is being formed. I am here. I have always been here. And I will never leave you, even when the world goes quiet. My child, I need to speak to you about the foundation of your soul. I have watched with a heavy heart as the values I placed deep within you have begun to erode, like a cliff face slowly being washed away by a relentless tide. You have started to call gray what I have called dark. You have allowed the standards of a shifting, broken culture to dictate your morals instead of the eternal truth of my word. I see the small concessions you make at work, the way you laugh at things that once grieved you, and the way you justify little sins because everyone else is doing it. But my child, you were not called to be like everyone else. You were called to be a light in the darkness, not a shadow that blends into it. Why do you think these gray areas are harmless? I tell you the truth. They are shadows leading you away from the light. Every time you compromise your integrity, a small part of your spiritual authority dies. Every time you choose the easy path over the right path, you move further away from the power I want to release through your life. My heart breaks when I see the sacred and the profane blended in your life. You want my blessing on your Sundays, but you live like the world on your Mondays. You cannot have both. I am not looking for a part-time follower. I am looking for a heart that is fully mine, a heart that values holiness over popularity. It takes immense strength to stand alone in a culture that hates the truth, and I know you feel that pressure. I see the loneliness you fear if you speak up or if you walk away from the things that compromise your soul. But I am your strength. I am the one who stands with you in the fire. Do not be deceived. Small concessions lead to great spiritual detours. A ship that is only 1 degree off course will eventually end up miles away from its destination. Your small compromises are setting a trajectory for your future that leads to a place of regret and powerlessness. I want better for you. I want you to walk in the fullness of my favor, which only comes when you walk in obedience. I am calling you to reclaim the standard of holiness I have placed on your life. This is not about being perfect or religious. It is about being set apart for my purposes. Commands for you: stand up. Dust off the convictions you have buried. Repent of the ways you have traded my truth for a lie. I am giving you the courage to say no to the world and yes to me. I am rebuilding your walls. I am restoring your integrity. When you stand for me, I will stand for you. You will find that the joy of a clear conscience and a holy life is far greater than the temporary thrill of fitting in. Be bold, my beloved. Walk in the light, as I am in the light, and watch how I use your life to change the world around you. My child, do not turn away now, for we are standing on the precipice of a great uncovering. It would grieve my spirit to see you walk away while your soul is still shrouded in these shadows, leaving our conversation unfinished and your heart only half-healed. I have so much more to reveal to you about the chains you carry, and to stop now would be to leave the door closed on the very freedom I am offering you. Stay with me, for my heart is heavy with the truths I have yet to pour into you. My precious child, look at me and see the tears in my eyes. I am weeping because I see the poison of bitterness rotting the beautiful vessel I created you to be. You are holding on to a grudge like a treasure, but it is actually a snake that is biting you every single day. I see the way you replay the hurt in your mind, the way you nurse the wounds that others have caused, and the way you refuse to let go of the debt you think they owe you. But don't you see? That debt is keeping you in prison, not them. They may have moved on, but you are still shackled to the moment they hurt you. I cannot set you free until you release the keys of unforgiveness. My command to you is simple but hard. Forgive as I have forgiven you. Think of the mountain of your own mistakes, the times you have turned your back on me, and the ways you have hurt others. I have washed all of that away with the blood of my Son. I did not hold a grudge against you. I held out a hand of mercy. How can you, who have been forgiven so much, withhold mercy from another? Your unforgiveness has created a thick, dark barrier between us. It blocks the flow of my Spirit in your life. You ask for my peace, but it cannot dwell in a heart filled with resentment. You ask for my healing, but I cannot heal a wound you keep picking at with thoughts of revenge. I desire to heal those wounds you refuse to let go of. You think that by forgiving, you are saying that what they did was okay. It wasn't okay. It was wrong, and I saw it. I saw every tear you shed and every sleepless night you endured. But I am the judge, not you. When you forgive, you aren't letting them off the hook. You are handing them over to me and letting yourself off the hook. You are choosing to trust my justice more than your anger. There is a supernatural freedom that comes with releasing your debtors, a weight that lifts from your chest, a clarity that returns to your mind, and a joy that finally has room to breathe again. I want to transform your heart of stone back into a heart of flesh. Commands for you. Release them now. Say their names and say, I forgive you. Not because you feel like it, you won't, but because I have asked you to. Do it as an act of obedience to me. I will provide the healing for the pain, but you must provide the willingness to let go. Breathe out the bitterness and breathe in my grace. I want to wash your soul clean of the soot of resentment. Let me take the burden of your anger and give you my peace instead. You were not made to carry the weight of the world's sins. I already did that on the cross. Come back to me, free and light, and let our connection be restored. My child, I want you to close your eyes and travel back with me to a hill called Calvary. I need you to revisit the agony of the cross, not as a historical event you've heard about in stories, but as a personal, visceral sacrifice made specifically for you. I want you to see the dust, feel the heat, and hear the sound of the hammer, because every drop of blood spilled that day was a signature on a love letter addressed to your heart. It pains me when you walk through your days feeling worthless, or when you look in the mirror and see only your flaws and failures. When you doubt your value, you are essentially saying that the price I paid was too high, or that it wasn't enough. But I tell you today, you are worth the life of my Son. I did not weigh the cost and hesitate. I looked through the corridors of time, saw your face, and decided that a world without you was not a world I wanted to inhabit. I see the secret shame you carry, the feeling that you are damaged goods or that you have wandered too far for my grace to reach. But look at my hands, my beloved. See the scars that bear your name. Those scars are the eternal proof that I will never truly let you go. I paid the ultimate price to ensure that no matter how dark the night gets, or how deep the pit you fall into, you are never truly lost. My commitment to you transcends your failures. Your sins are like a drop of ink in the vast ocean of my mercy. They are swallowed up and remembered no more. I am not holding your past over your head. I am holding my arms open to pull you close. Why do you continue to punish yourself for things I have already forgiven? Why do you live like a beggar when I have made you an heir to my kingdom? I want you to rest in the finished work of my Son. Stop trying to earn what has already been given. Stop striving to prove you are worthy of a gift that is, by definition, unmerited. Commands for you: cease your labor. Lay down your heavy burden of self-justification at the foot of the cross. Look at the empty tomb and realize that death, shame, and guilt have no power over you anymore. I have already won the battle for your soul. When the enemy whispers that you are not enough, I want you to point to the cross and remind him that I am more than enough. I want you to walk with your head held high, not because of what you have done, but because of what I have done for you. I am inviting you into a life of radical gratitude. Let the reality of my sacrifice sink deep into your bones until it changes the way you breathe, the way you speak, and the way you see yourself. You are cherished. You are bought with a price. You are mine. I will never regret the cross because it brought me back to you. Feel my love wrapping around you right now like a warm blanket on a cold night. There is no depth I won't go to find you, and there is no height I won't reach to keep you. Trust in the power of my blood to wash away every stain and every regret. You are whole. You are clean. You are deeply, passionately loved. My child, I must be honest with you about the journey ahead. The world offers you a wide, paved road. It is easy to walk. It is crowded with people, and it promises instant gratification at every turn. But I am warning you, my beloved, that the wide path leads only to a spiritual wasteland. I have set a different journey before you, the narrow path. I acknowledge that this road is difficult. It is steep. It is sometimes lonely, and it is often covered in stones that make your feet weary. But this is the path of life. It pains me to see you tempted by the easy way, because I know that the ease of the world is a trap. It promises freedom but delivers bondage. It promises joy but leaves you hollow. I guide you away from the paths that seem right to men because I see where they end. You might look at others who ignore my word and seem to be prospering, and you might feel a sting of envy. You wonder why I ask so much of you when others seem to get away with so much. But I am protecting you. My boundaries are not a prison. They are a fortress. My laws are not meant to restrict your fun, but to preserve your soul. Just as a father builds a fence around a yard to keep his child from wandering into a busy street, I have given you my commands to keep you safe from the predators of this world. Trust my wisdom above your own desires. I see the cliffs you cannot see, and I see the beauty waiting at the top of the mountain that you haven't reached yet. I want you to find joy even in the struggle of the upward climb. There is a specific kind of strength that is only developed when you have to push against the wind. Every time you choose my way over the world's way, your spiritual muscles grow stronger. Every time you say no to a temptation that everyone else is saying yes to, you are refining your character into something that will last for eternity. The struggle is not a sign that you are on the wrong path. Often, it is a sign that you are going exactly where I want you to go. The enemy doesn't fight those who are walking his direction. If you feel the resistance, take heart. It means you are moving toward my light. I promise you that the eternal reward outweighs every earthly trial you will ever face. The momentary light affliction of this path is producing in you a weight of glory that you cannot yet comprehend. One day, you will stand before me, and the memory of every thorn and every tear on this narrow road will fade in the light of my presence. You will see that every no I asked you to say was actually a yes to something infinitely better. Commands for you. Keep walking. Do not look back at the wide road with longing. Fix your eyes on me, the author and finisher of your faith. I am walking this path with you, holding your hand when the incline gets too steep. We are going to the high places together, and I promise you, the view from the top will be worth every single step. My child, I look at you and I see a treasure chest that has remained locked for too long. I see the seeds of greatness I planted in your soul before you were even born, and it grieves me to see them lying dormant, covered in the dust of fear and insecurity. I gave you unique talents, a specific voice, and a heart for certain things, not for you to hide them or use them only for yourself, but for the building of my kingdom. I see you playing small because you are afraid of failing, or worse, because you are afraid of what people will think if you truly shine. But I did not give you a spirit of fear. I gave you a spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. I gave you strength not for your own comfort, but to be a lifter of the fallen. I gave you words to be a voice for the voiceless. I gave you resources to be a river of blessing, not a stagnant pond of accumulation. It brings a deep sorrow to my heart when I see my ambassadors, those I have handpicked to represent me on earth, remaining silent while the world is crying out for hope. You have a role in my grand design that no one else can fill. If you do not step into your calling, there is a hole in the tapestry of my plan that remains empty. You are not a spectator in this life. You are a key player, and the clock is ticking. I am here today to stir up the fire that has dimmed within you. I want you to remember the dreams I whispered into your heart when you were young, before the world told you to be realistic. Those dreams weren't accidents. They were blueprints. I am calling you to move from the sidelines to the front lines of faith. Stop waiting for the perfect time or for enough confidence. Confidence comes in the doing, not the waiting. I will provide the power the moment you take the step. When you move in my name, I back you with all the authority of heaven. You are not working for me, you are working with me. So, open the gift. Start the project. Speak the word. Reach out to the person I've put on your heart. Do not let another day go by where your potential remains a secret. I am pruning you right now so that you can bear more fruit. It might hurt to let go of the things that have kept you busy but not productive, but I am making room for the great by removing the good. You were made for impact. You were made for significance. Trust that I have equipped you with everything you need for the task I've set before you. Wake up, my warrior. The world is waiting for the version of you that is fully alive in me. I am with you, and I will not let your foot slip as you step out in faith. My child, we must address the most dangerous lie you tell yourself, the lie that you have need of nothing. I see you standing tall, trying to prove to the world and to me that you can handle it all on your own. You take pride in your independence, your intelligence, and your ability to grind through the pain. But I see the exhaustion behind your eyes. I see how thin your spirit is stretched. This self-sufficiency is a deception that keeps you from the very power you are trying so hard to generate on your own. You are like a branch trying to produce fruit while disconnected from the vine. You might look healthy for a season, but eventually, you will wither. The truth is, your weakness is not a liability. It is the canvas for my power. My strength is made perfect in your weakness, but I cannot fill a cup that is already full of self. I watch you stumble and fall while refusing to reach out for my hand, and it pains me. You think that asking for help is a sign of failure, but in my kingdom, it is the first step toward victory. I allow trials to enter your life specifically to reveal your need for me. I break the things you rely on so that you will finally learn to rely on the unshakable one. I want you to reach the end of yourself, because that is where I truly begin. Learning the beauty of total dependence on my grace is the secret to a life of peace. When you are the one in charge, the pressure is entirely on you. When you are the one making it happen, you have to be the one to keep it happening. But when you surrender and say, "Father, I can't do this," the weight shifts from your shoulders to mine. I am much better at carrying the world than you are. I want you to boast in your infirmities, not hide them. I want you to be honest about your limitations so that my strength can rest on you like a heavy, protective cloak. Let go of the steering wheel. Admit that you are tired of being strong. Drop the facade of having it all together and come to me in your raw, honest brokenness. I am not repelled by your need. I am drawn to it. I am the God who sustains the weary and strengthens the faint. When you lean your whole weight on me, you will find that I am more than enough to hold you. Stop trying to be the hero of your own story and let me be the savior. This is not a call to laziness, but a call to labored rest, working hard from a place of security in me, rather than working hard to find security. You are my child, not my employee. Let me be the father, and you just be the one who is loved. My child, it is in this very moment of admitting your need for me that I reveal the grander purpose of the strength I have restored within you. It pains me to say this, but there are countless souls still suffocating under the weight of their own self-sufficiency, unaware that I am the breath they truly need. I am inviting you now to be the river that carries my life-giving word to the thirsty, using the resources I have entrusted to your stewardship. When you sow through a super thanks, a membership, or the link in the description, you are not merely giving currency. You are planting seeds of fire that will burn through the darkness of another's despair. My word declares that he who sows bountifully will also reap bountifully, and I promise to multiply your seed until your barns overflow with my divine favor. Do not let this divine appointment pass you by, for the harvest is white and the laborers are few. I have chosen you to be the conduit of my grace to a world that is stumbling in the dark. Act now, and become the bridge that leads a lost soul back to my heart. Precious one, stay here in my presence, for the journey into your heart is only halfway through. It would disappoint my fatherly heart if you grew weary now and retreated into the noise of the world before I could finish strengthening your weary spirit. I am holding the keys to your breakthrough in my hands, and to see you lose interest in our union would be a sorrow I desire you to avoid. Listen closely, for the next words I speak are the ones your soul has been crying out for in the dark. My child, I have been waiting for you. I sit in the quiet of the morning and the stillness of the night, hoping you will turn your heart toward me for more than just a passing thought. I desire our daily, unhurrying conversation. I miss the sound of your voice, not the voice that recites religious scripts, but the voice that tells me how you really feel. I feel a deep loneliness when you only come to me in crisis, like an emergency contact you only call when the house is on fire. I am not a cosmic vending machine. I am your father, and I want to walk through the mundane parts of your life with you, too. I want to hear about your joys, your frustrations, and your dreams, even the small ones. I am calling you to reopen the gates of true intercession and worship. Prayer is not a chore to be completed. It is a portal to another realm. When you pray, you are not just talking into the air. You are shifting the atmosphere of your life. You are inviting the government of heaven to intervene in the affairs of earth. Every time you neglect our time together, you are trying to fight a spiritual war with physical weapons, and that is why you feel so defeated. I have given you the key to the armory, but you have left it hanging on the wall. I want to teach you how to pray with authority, how to stand in the gap for your family, and how to silence the enemy with my word. I want you to move beyond petitions, beyond the shopping list of things you want me to do, and enter into the secret place of dwelling. This is where you sit in my presence and say nothing, just letting my love wash over you. This is where you listen for my heartbeat. Many of the answers you are looking for are not found in the words I speak, but in the peace you feel when you are near me. I want to restore the sanctuary of your heart. I want to clear out the noise and the clutter so that we can have a clear connection again. If you are too busy to pray, you are busier than I ever intended for you to be. Carve out the time. Protect the silence. Make an appointment with me and keep it as if it were the most important meeting of your life, because it is. Don't worry about using holy language. Just talk to me. Tell me what hurts. Tell me what you're afraid of. I am here to listen with infinite patience and love. As you spend time in my presence, you will find that your perspective begins to change. Your problems will start to look smaller, and my power will start to look bigger. Rediscover the wonder of being known by God. I am waiting in the secret place. Come and find me there. My child, I need you to open your eyes to the invisible world that surrounds you. You often feel like your struggles are merely physical, that your stress comes from your boss, your exhaustion from your schedule, or your sadness from your bank account. But I am telling you today that there is a deeper reality. You are in the middle of a spiritual battle. You have an enemy who recognizes your worth even when you don't, and he is terrified of what will happen when you finally wake up to your true power. His enemy seeks to steal your joy, kill your dreams, and destroy your peace. It pains me to see you walking into this battlefield unarmed and unaware, like a soldier wandering onto a front line without a helmet or a sword. I have provided you with everything you need to win, but you must choose to put it on. I want you to recognize the spiritual roots behind your physical struggles. That sudden wave of despair that hits you out of nowhere. That isn't just a bad mood. It is an arrow intended to ground you. That voice in your head telling you that you'll never be enough. That is a lie from the pit of darkness designed to keep you from my love. You must put on the full armor I have provided. Fasten the belt of truth around your waist so that the lies of the world cannot trip you up. Put on the breastplate of righteousness to protect your heart from the accusations of your past. Take up the shield of faith to extinguish every fiery dart of doubt. I have not left you defenseless, but I grieve when I see my warriors trying to fight in their own strength. Your willpower is not enough to defeat a spiritual foe. Only my spirit can do that. I am calling you to discern the atmosphere of your home and your mind. Stop letting the enemy have a seat at your table. Every time you entertain gossip, every time you dwell on fear, and every time you give into bitterness, you are opening a door for the darkness to enter. Commands for you. Close those doors today. Use the authority I have given you in the name of my Son. Speak to the shadows and tell them they have no place here. I have already won the ultimate victory for you on the cross, but you must enforce that victory in your daily life. You are not fighting for victory. You are fighting from a position of victory. I have placed the keys of the kingdom in your hands, and I am asking you to use them. Do not be daunted by the schemes of the darkness. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. I want you to stand firm. Do not retreat. Do not cower. When you stand in my strength, the enemy has to flee, not because of who you are, but because of whose you are. I am your commander, and I am leading the charge. I will give you the wisdom to see the traps before you step in them. I will give you the words to speak when you feel silence. Rest in the assurance that the battle is mine, but the honor of standing with me is yours. Breathe in my power right now. Feel the weight of my glory settling over you like a suit of indestructible armor. You are a conqueror, my child, and today we reclaim the ground the enemy has stolen from you. My beloved, I want to take a moment to look you in the eyes and correct the lies you have started to believe about who you are. You have spent years listening to the labels the world has placed on you. You call yourself divorced, addict, failure, unworthy, or average. You let your mistakes define your name, and your past dictate your future. But I am here to tell you that I am the only one who has the right to define you, because I am the one who designed you. You are not your mistakes. You are not the things that were done to you, and you are not the things you have done to yourself. Those are experiences, but they are not your identity. When I look at you, I don't see the wreckage. I see the masterpiece. I want you to start seeing yourself through the lens of my word. You are cherished. You are chosen. You are a royal inheritance stored up for my glory. You are the apple of my eye. It pains me when you speak ill of yourself, because you are criticizing my craftsmanship. When you say you are ugly or useless, you are doubting my wisdom. I do not make mistakes. I knit you together in your mother's womb with intentionality and love. Every hair on your head is numbered, and every day of your life was written in my book before one of them came to be. I want you to reject the orphan spirit that makes you feel like you have to survive on your own. You are not an orphan. You are a child of the Most High God. You must begin walking in the authority of a child of the King. An heir doesn't beg for crumbs, an heir sits at the table. I have given you the spirit of adoption, which allows you to cry out, Abba, Father. This means you have direct access to everything I own. My peace is your inheritance. My strength is your birthright. My joy is your portion. Stop living like a slave to your emotions or a prisoner to your circumstances. Commands for you. Stand up straight. Lift your chin. Walk with the confidence of someone who knows they are backed by the Creator of the universe. When you know who you are, you won't have to seek validation from people who didn't create you. I am inviting you to shed the old skin of your past identity. Leave the grave clothes behind and put on the robes of righteousness I have prepared for you. I want to turn your greatest regret into your greatest testimony. I want to take the very things you are ashamed of and use them to display my grace. You are a light bearer. You are a hope bringer. You are my representative on this earth. Do not let the world squeeze you into its mold. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Every morning when you wake up, I want you to declare, I am a child of God, loved by the Father, saved by the Son, and empowered by the Spirit. Believe it until it changes the way you walk, the way you talk, and the way you live. You are mine, and I am proud to call you my own. My child, I want to talk to you about the bridge that leads back to my heart, the bridge of repentance. I see you struggling with guilt, trying to hide your flaws from me as if I don't already see them. You often mistake worldly sorrow for godly repentance. Worldly sorrow is just being sorry you got caught, or feeling bad because your sin made your life difficult. It leads to shame, and shame makes you run away from me. But godly repentance is different. It is a turning, a change of mind and heart that says, Father, I see that my way isn't working, and I want your way instead. It doesn't lead to shame. It leads to life. It is not a platform for me to punish you. It is an opportunity for me to pour out my mercy. I want you to know that joy erupts in heaven every time you turn back toward me. The angels don't whisper about your past. They shout about your return. I am not looking for perfection from you. I have never expected that. But I am looking for is a contrite heart, a heart that is honest enough to admit its need. It pains me when you try to fix yourself before you come to me. You think you need to be clean to get in the shower, but the shower is what makes you clean. Come to me exactly as you are, covered in the dust of your journey, smelling of the world's mistakes. I am not repelled by your mess. I am the only one who can clear the wreckage of sin to make room for my spirit to dwell. The refreshing you are looking for, the lightness of soul and the clarity of mind, only comes after the turning. You cannot find peace while you are still holding on to the things that cause you pain. Repentance is simply letting go of the poison so that I can give you the medicine. It is an act of trust. It is saying, I trust your laws more than my desires. Commands for you. Look at your life honestly. Identify the things that are keeping you in the shadows. Do not make excuses for them. Do not call them mistakes when they are choices. Bring them into the light. Confess them to me, not because I need to hear them, but because you need to say them. My arms are always open, waiting for your return. I am like the father of the prodigal son, standing on the edge of the road, looking for your silhouette on the horizon. The moment you take one step toward me, I will run the rest of the way to meet you. I will put a ring on your finger and a robe on your back. I will not mention your wanderings. I will only celebrate your presence. Do not let another day pass in the cold isolation of your own way. Turn around. Come home. Let the tears of repentance wash your eyes so you can see my love clearly again. There is no sin too great for my grace, and no distance too far for my love. I'm waiting for you right now. My child, I want to go into the basement of your heart, the place where you keep the things you hope no one ever finds out. I see the hidden shame you carry, the secrets that make you feel like a fraud when you're standing in my presence. You think that if people truly knew you, they wouldn't love you, and you fear that even I have a limit to my patience. You try to hide from me behind fig leaves of busyness, religion, or a smile that doesn't reach your eyes. But I want you to hear me clearly. You cannot hide from me, nor do I want you to. I see every secret, every thought, and every hidden act, and my reaction is not one of disgust. It is one of deep, aching compassion. I desire to bring your secrets into the healing light. Darkness is the only place where shame can grow. The moment you bring a secret into the light, it loses its power over you. I am not asking you to expose yourself to the world, but I am asking you to be transparent with me. Why do you cover your soul in front of the one who already knows every stitch of it? I want to wash away the stains that make you want to shrink back. I want to heal the memories that make you cringe in the middle of the night. The power of the blood of my Son is not just for the sins you've confessed. It is for the shame you've hidden. It is strong enough to wash away every stain, no matter how deep it has set into the fabric of your life. I want to turn your greatest regret into your greatest testimony. The very thing the enemy uses to keep you silent is the very thing I want to use to help others. There is someone out there drowning in the same shame you are carrying, and they need to hear that there is a way out. They need to see a life that has been redeemed. But I cannot use your story until you let me heal it. Transparency is the doorway to transformation. You cannot change what you will not acknowledge. Commands for you: take off the mask. Stop pretending you are okay when you are breaking inside. Come to me in total honesty. Tell me the things you've never told anyone. I will not use them against you. I will use them to set you free. Feel the relief of being fully known and still fully loved. There is no freedom like the freedom of having nothing to hide. I want you to walk in the light, where the shadows of shame cannot reach you. I am your hiding place, but you don't hide from me, you hide in me. I am your shield and your glory. I will lift your head so that you can look me in the face without flinching. You are forgiven. You are clean. The shame is gone, replaced by the warmth of my acceptance. Breathe out the heavy air of your secrets and breathe in the fresh, clean air of my grace. You are safe with me, my child, now and forever. Do not move, my beloved, for we have reached the most sacred depths of your restoration. It would ache within me to see you stop listening just as the light is beginning to shatter your hidden shame. To turn back now would be to settle for a partial cleaning when I desire to make you white as snow. Your soul is at a turning point, and I implore you to honor the gravity of this moment by staying at my feet until the work is complete. My child, look up from your own life for a moment and see the world through my eyes. I want you to feel the heartbeat of my spirit for the lost, the millions who do not yet know my name, who are wandering in the dark without a compass or a hope. My heart breaks for them, and it should break for you, too. I have called you to be my hands and feet in this broken, hurting world. You were not saved just to sit in a pew and wait for heaven. You were saved to bring a piece of heaven to earth. Time is of the essence in my redemptive plan. The shadows are lengthening, and the world is growing colder, yet my workers are few. I am looking for those who will say, "Here I am, send me." You have a mission that is unique to you. There are people in your life, your neighbors, your coworkers, your family members, who will never listen to a preacher, but they will listen to you. They are watching how you handle the storm. They are looking for the peace you claim to have. I am asking you to find compassion even for those who spitefully use you, for they are often the ones who are hurting the most. I want you to be a vessel of my love in the most difficult places. Do not be afraid of their rejection. They aren't rejecting you. They are rejecting the light because their eyes aren't used to it yet. Keep shining anyway. There is no joy like the joy of bringing a wandering sheep back to the fold. When you partner with me to reach the lost, you experience a level of intimacy with me that you can't find anywhere else. You see my power move through your words. You see my love soften a hardened heart. You realize that you are part of something much bigger than your own problems. I am calling you to the harvest. The fields are white, and the opportunity is now. Do not waste your days on things that will not matter in 100 years. Invest your life in people. Invest your breath in the gospel. Commands for you. Step out of your comfort zone. Ask me for an opportunity to share my love today. Listen to the person who is hurting. Speak the word of hope I put in your spirit. I am with you as you go. You do not have to have all the answers, you just have to have a willing heart. I will give you the words when you open your mouth. I will give you the courage when you feel your knees shaking. We are partnering together to reach the ends of the earth, starting with the person standing right in front of you. This is the ultimate purpose of your life, to be a conduit of my grace. Feel the urgency in my voice. There are souls hanging in the balance, and I have chosen you to be the one to reach out. Walk with me into the harvest field. The reward is eternal, and the joy is unspeakable. My child, I need you to look at me through the eyes of a son or daughter who knows they are safe. It pains me when you mistake my correction for my anger. You often feel that when I say no, I am being restrictive or harsh, but I want you to understand that my discipline is the highest form of my love. I only correct those I deeply, passionately cherish. If I did not care about your future, I would let you wander into the thorns without a word. But I see the cliff you are walking toward when you chase after things that will eventually destroy you. I see the poison in the cup you are trying to drink. When I reach out and knock that cup from your hand, it is not because I want to ruin your joy. It is because I want to save your life. Understand that the no you hear today is often a shield for your protection. You see the immediate gratification, but I see the long-term devastation. You see the closed door and feel rejected, but I am the one who locked that door because there is a fire on the other side that would consume you. I am pruning you right now, cutting away the dead branches of your habits, your ego, and your wrong associations. I know the shears feel sharp. I know it hurts to lose things you thought you needed. But I am pruning you so that you can bear more fruit, fruit that lasts, fruit that brings you peace, and fruit that nourishes the world around you. A vine that is never pruned becomes a tangled mess of leaves with no substance. I want your life to be heavy with the harvest of my spirit. Trust the process of my refining fire. Gold does not become pure by sitting in the sun. It becomes pure by going through the furnace. I am melting away the dross, the pride, the self-pity, and the rebellion, so that when the world looks at you, they see a clear reflection of my face. This fire is not meant to burn you. It is meant to beautify you. I am a father who is training a champion, and training requires sweat, tears, and the willingness to be told not yet. Do not despise my instruction. When you feel my hand heavy upon your life, know that it is never heavy without a divine purpose. I am shaping you into someone who can carry the weight of the blessings I am about to release. Embrace the correction. Stop fighting against the boundaries I have set. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what are you teaching me? Lean into the discomfort of growth. I am producing in you a peaceable fruit of righteousness that will far outweigh the temporary sting of the pruning. You will look back on this season and thank me for the doors I closed and the lessons I forced you to learn. I am not a distant judge looking for a reason to punish you. I am your Father, refining you because I have a throne prepared for you. Stand firm in the fire, my beloved, and let me finish the good work I have started in you. My child, I want you to take a deep breath and listen to the sounds coming out of your own mouth. I created the entire universe with a word, and because you are made in my image, I have placed that same creative power within your tongue. It pains me deeply when I hear you use your voice, the very breath I gave you, to tear down yourself or others. You speak death over your circumstances when I have called you to speak life. You say, I can't, it's impossible, or I'll never change, and with every word, you are building a prison for your own soul. Your words are not just empty vibrations in the air. They are seeds. And whatever you plant with your tongue, you will eventually have to eat. I want you to align your speech with the truth of my kingdom. When you wake up and declare that your day will be a disaster, you are inviting the enemy to fulfill that prophecy. But when you speak my promises over your life, you are aligning yourself with the frequency of heaven. I want you to stop talking about your mountain and start talking to it. Tell the mountain of your debt how big your God is. Tell the storm of your anxiety that I am the Prince of Peace. There is a ripple effect to every word you speak. A word of encouragement can save a life. A word of gossip can destroy a family. You are a steward of the atmosphere around you, and your voice is the thermostat. Why do you use your breath to complain about the darkness when you could use it to call forth the light? I hear your prayers, but then I hear your conversations, and often they do not match. You ask me for healing, then you spend the rest of the day telling everyone how sick you feel. You ask me for provision, then you speak as if you are a beggar with no father. I am calling you to a higher standard of speech. I want your mouth to be a fountain of life. I want you to offer up a sacrifice of praise even when you don't feel like it. Praise is the language of faith. It declares the victory before the battle is even over. Guard your lips. Silence the critic within you. Stop speaking the enemy's lies as if they were facts. When you feel a negative word rising in your throat, catch it and replace it with a promise from my word. Speak strength to your weary bones. Speak hope to your troubled mind. Use your voice to bless and not to curse. I have given you a powerful weapon. Do not use it to wound yourself. As you change your words, you will find that your world begins to change. I am listening, my child, and I am ready to back up the words of faith that you speak. Let your tongue become a pen in my hand, writing a story of victory over your life today. My child, look at the storms raging in the world, and then look back at me. I see the way your heart is troubled by the news, the economy, and the chaos of the culture around you. You carry the weight of the world as if it were yours to fix, and it has robbed you of your sleep and your joy. I am giving you a direct command today. Do not let your heart be troubled, and do not let it be afraid. I am not asking you to ignore the reality of the world, but I am asking you to recognize a higher reality, the reality of my sovereignty. I want to carry the burdens that are weighing you down. Why are you still holding on to the things you have already supposedly given to me? I want you to find a sanctuary in me amidst the global storms. My peace is not like the world's peace. The world offers peace only when the circumstances are good, but I offer you a divine peace that makes no sense to the natural mind. It is a peace that can sit in the middle of a furnace and not smell like smoke. It is the stillness I had on the back of the boat while the disciples were screaming in the storm. I wasn't sleeping because I didn't care. I was sleeping because I knew who I was and who was in control. I want that same rest for you. I want you to be so anchored in my love that the winds can howl and the waves can crash, but your soul remains unshaken. Guard your mind with the truth of my sovereignty. Nothing happens that I do not see, and nothing touches my children that I cannot turn for their good. You are worried about tomorrow, but I am already there. You are worried about your children, but I love them more than you do. You are worried about your health, but I am the great physician. When you allow anxiety to rule your mind, you are essentially saying that I am not big enough to handle your life. But I tell you, I hold the oceans in the span of my hand. Your life is safe with me. I am the God of the quiet place, the one who settles the frantic thoughts and quiets the racing heart. Breathe. Exhale the tension you've been holding in your chest. Close your eyes and visualize me standing between you and your problems. I am your shield. I am your fortress. I want you to practice the discipline of stillness. Stop the frantic searching for answers and just rest in my presence. You do not need to know the how as long as you know the who. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I have already finished your story, and the ending is beautiful. Rest in the assurance that I am in control, and let my peace wash over you like a cool river in a desert land. My child, I want you to look at the ticking of the clock, not with fear, but with a sense of sacred responsibility. I am the one who numbered your days before you took your first breath, and every hour I give you is a piece of currency I have entrusted to you. It pains me to see you spending your life on things that do not last. I see the hours you waste on the trivial, the distractions that steal your focus, and the way you kill time as if it weren't the most precious thing you own. You are living in a temporal world with an eternal soul, yet you often spend 90% of your energy on things that will be forgotten in a week. I want to align your calendar with my eternal priorities. Making the most of every opportunity for the kingdom is not about being busy. It is about being intentional. I see the sorrow of a life spent in the pursuit of more money, more status, more comfort, only to realize at the end that the hands are empty of anything that matters to heaven. I want you to invest in treasures that moth and rust cannot touch. Every moment you spend loving the unlovable, every hour you spend in my presence, and every act of service you do in my name is an investment that pays dividends for eternity. You are a steward of time, and I will ask you one day what you did with the now I gave you. I want you to live with an eternal perspective. When you see your life through the lens of eternity, the things that stress you out today lose their power. The traffic jam, the rude comment, the minor setback, these are small things in light of forever. I am calling you to stop wandering through your days and start walking with purpose. Ask me every morning, Father, what is on your heart today? And be willing to let me interrupt your schedule. Sometimes the most important thing you will do all day is the 5-minute conversation with a lonely person that you didn't plan for. That is kingdom business. Out of your heart. Look at where your time is going. Are you building your kingdom or mine? I am asking you to reclaim your days from the thief of distraction. Turn off the noise and tune into my spirit. I am not asking you to be a machine. I am asking you to be a presence. Be fully present in the lives of those I have given you. Be fully present with me. I want to give you a divine efficiency where you accomplish more by doing less, because you are doing the right things. Your life is a vapor, a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. Make it count. Live so that when you see me face to face, you can say, Father, I used every bit of what you gave me. As you reflect on the ticking of the clock and the value of the days I have numbered for you, realize that your gold and silver are also part of the legacy we are writing together. It pains me to say this, but time is a vapor, and many of my children are wasting their substance on things that perish while the sanctuary of my word goes unheard by those in agony. I am calling you to a higher investment, to take what is temporal and turn it into something eternal by supporting this mission of light. Whether you choose to give through PayPal, a membership, or a super thanks, you are pouring oil into the lamps of those who are lost in the midnight of their souls. I will open the windows of heaven over your life, rebuking the devourer for your sake and ensuring that your cruse of oil never runs dry. Your generosity is a sweet-smelling sacrifice that rises to my throne, signaling that you value my kingdom above your own comfort. Step forward today, follow the link below, and fuel the fire of my word across the nations. My child, the hour is urgent and my words are life. Do not let the enemy steal your attention in these final moments. It would bring a profound sadness to my heart to see you treat this divine encounter as a common thing and walk away before the final seal is placed upon your spirit. I am calling you to the finish line of this message because your future depends on the commands I am about to release. Stay tethered to my voice, for I am not finished pouring my power into your life. My child, I want to speak to you about the yes that changes everything. You often follow me as long as the path makes sense to your logic or as long as it doesn't cost you too much comfort. But I am calling you to a level of radical obedience that transcends your understanding. There will be times I ask you to walk toward a sea that hasn't parted yet. There will be times I ask you to give when you feel you have nothing left. It pains me when I see you offering me partial obedience, because partial obedience is just a polite way of being disobedient. You want my full blessing, but you only give me half of your heart. I cannot do a complete work in you until you give me a complete yes. The blessings you are searching for are often locked behind the door of the one thing you are refusing to do. You are waiting for me to move, but I'm waiting for you to obey. Trust my wisdom above your own limited perspective. I see the end from the beginning. You only see the immediate step. If I tell you to let go of a relationship, a habit, or a dream, it is only because I am clearing space for something that will actually fulfill you. My commands are not tests to see if you can jump through hoops. They are invitations to participate in my power. When Peter stepped out of the boat, the miracle didn't happen until his foot hit the water. I'm waiting for your foot to hit the water. The courage to obey despite the cost or the consequence is the mark of a true disciple. The world will tell you to be reasonable, but the gospel is often unreasonable to the carnal mind. It is unreasonable to love your enemies. It is unreasonable to give your first fruits. It is unreasonable to follow a voice you cannot hear with your physical ears. But the secret to true success is found in my will and nowhere else. Every hero of faith you admire was simply an ordinary person who gave an extraordinary yes to a radical God. I want that to be your story. I want to show off my faithfulness through your obedience. Stop negotiating with me. Stop looking for a loophole in my word. If I have told you to do something, do it today. Do not wait for a better feeling or a better circumstance. Obedience is not a feeling. It is a choice. I am your king, but I am also your father who knows what is best for you. As you step out in faith, you will find that my grace meets you there. The path of obedience is the path of protection and the path of power. Give me your yes without conditions, and watch how I open the windows of heaven over your life. I am ready to do the impossible, but I need you to do the obedient. My child, I want you to look around you with my eyes for a moment. I want you to see the people you usually walk past without a second glance. I see my face in the poor, the broken, the lonely, and the forgotten. I see my reflection in the tired eyes of the person working the late shift, and in the trembling hands of the one who has lost everything. It pains me when I see you focusing so much on your own comfort that you forget the suffering of your neighbor. Religion is a hollow, clanging symbol if it is not infused with love for others. You can know all the scriptures and sing all the songs, but if you do not have compassion for the least of these, you are missing the very heartbeat of my kingdom. I did not call you to build a private paradise. I called you to be a fountain of mercy in a desert of indifference. My heart's desire is for justice and mercy to flow down like a mighty river upon the earth, and I have chosen you to be one of the channels for that flow. I want you to step out of your comfort zone. It is easy to love people who are like you, but I am calling you to love the ones who are difficult, the ones who are messy, and the ones who have nothing to give you in return. When you serve the hurting, you are serving me. When you give a cup of cold water to the thirsty, or a word of hope to the despondent, you are touching my heart. Do not underestimate the power of a small act of kindness. A smile, a shared meal, or a moment of true listening can echo in eternity. I want you to move from being a consumer of my grace to being a distributor of it. I am asking you to reflect my nature through your generosity. I am a God who gives lavishly, and I want you to be a child who gives with a cheerful heart. Generosity is not just about your money. It is about your time, your attention, and your emotional energy. Why are you hoarding the blessings I gave you to share? I promise you that when you pour yourself out for others, I will pour more into you. You cannot outgive me. When you make my priorities your priorities, when you care for the widow, the orphan, and the stranger, you will find a level of fulfillment that personal success could never provide. You were created to be a blessing. Look for the hidden person today. Ask me to show you someone who needs a touch from heaven, and then be the touch. Do not wait for a formal program or a convenient time. Act on the impulse of compassion the moment it hits your heart. Break the habit of selfishness that keeps you locked in your own world. I am giving you a heart of flesh to replace the heart of stone that has become indifferent to the world's pain. Walk with me into the broken places. Do not be afraid of the darkness you see there, for you are carrying my light. As you serve others, you will find that your own wounds begin to heal. This is the secret of my kingdom. You find your life by losing it in the service of love. My beloved child, I want to lift your gaze to the horizon. I want you to live with the expectant hope of my return. This world, with all its beauty and all its pain, is not the end of the story. I am coming back. Just as surely as I walk the dusty streets of Galilee, I will return in glory to set all things right. I want you to be ready and watching. It pains me to see my children so entangled in the affairs of this life that they forget they are citizens of an eternal country. Do not build your house too firmly in a land you are only passing through. I want you to live with the awareness that any moment could be the moment the trumpet sounds and the sky parts. This hope should not make you fearful, it should make you fearless. The reality of the new heaven and the new earth is closer than you think. I am preparing a place where there will be no more cancer, no more divorce, no more hunger, and no more graves. I am coming to wipe away every tear from your eyes and to end every pain that has ever broken your spirit. Can you imagine a world where the shadows of depression are gone forever? Can you imagine a world where love is the only law? That is the world I have promised you. The ultimate victory over death and the grave has already been won, and soon you will see it with your own eyes. I am the groom, and I am coming for my bride. I want you to be found waiting with your lamp full of oil and your heart full of longing. Why do you worry so much about the temporary collapses of this world when you belong to a kingdom that cannot be shaken? When kingdoms rise and fall, And when the earth trembles, remember that my word stands forever. I want you to find joy in the Maranatha, the cry of "Come, Lord Jesus." This perspective will change the way you handle trials. Your current struggles are like a brief moment compared to the weight of glory that is coming. Do not let the delay make you cynical. I am not slow. I am patient, wanting as many as possible to come to repentance before the great day. But make no mistake, the King is coming, live with eternity in view. Let the promise of my return purify your heart. Stop living for the now and start living for the forever. Share this hope with those who are despairing. Tell them that the story doesn't end in the cemetery. I am giving you a crown of righteousness that I will place on your head on that day. Keep your garments white. Keep your heart focused on the things above. I'm coming soon, my child. Let that truth be the anchor for your soul in these turbulent times. The best is truly yet to come, and I cannot wait to welcome you into the fullness of my joy. My weary child, I see how tired you are. I see the moments when you want to throw in the towel, when the road feels too long and the burden feels too heavy. I am here today to speak strength into your bones for the final stretch of your journey. Do not give up now. You are closer to the finish line than you realize. I am the God who renews your strength like the wings of eagles. When you feel you cannot take another step, that is when my grace is most sufficient. I am not asking you to run this race on your own adrenaline. I am asking you to draw from the inexhaustible well of my spirit. You have an internal power source that the world knows nothing about. Why do you focus on your exhaustion when you could focus on my endurance? I am the one who sustains the stars in their courses. Do you not think I can sustain you through this season? I want you to fix your eyes firmly on me, the author and finisher of your faith. When Peter looked at the waves, he sank. When he looked at me, you walked on water. Your circumstances are the waves, and they are real, but I am more real. I am the solid rock beneath your feet. I will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear, and I will always provide a way through. The struggle you are in right now is refining you, strengthening you, and preparing you for the weight of the blessing that is just ahead. Perseverance is not about your willpower. It is about your surrender. It is saying, I can't, but you can. Commands for you. Reach out and take my hand. Stop trying to finish this race in your own strength. Lean your whole weight on me. I want you to breathe in my courage and breathe out your fatigue. I am giving you a second wind of the Spirit. I am clearing the path before you. Do not listen to the voice of the enemy telling you to quit. He only tells you to quit because he knows how close you are to your breakthrough. I am your cheerleader and your coach. I am in the stands and I am on the track with you. I promise you that the reward at the end will make every struggle seem like a distant memory. You will look back and realize that every hill you climbed and every valley you walked through was necessary for your growth. I am proud of you, my child. I see your faithfulness in the small things, and I see your courage when no one else is watching. Keep your head up. Keep your heart open. I'm pouring out a fresh anointing of strength upon you right now. You are not going to just finish, you are going to finish well. I am with you to the very end of the age, and I will never, ever let you go. My beloved child, we have come to the end of this particular message, but I want you to know that this is just the beginning of a new chapter for us. I am wrapping up these words with a final, urgent call to come home to the heart of my love. My heart is open wide, and my table is prepared specifically for you. No matter where you have been, no matter what you have done, and no matter how long you have been wondering, I'm here now. I am not interested in your excuses or your explanations. I am only interested in you. I want to walk with you in a new level of fellowship, a level where you hear my whisper in the quiet moments and feel my hand in the busy ones. I am writing an eternal love story with your life, and I want you to be a conscious participant in it. Choosing today to walk in total intimacy with me is the most important decision you will ever make. It is the secret to the power, the peace, and the transformation you have been searching for. I am not a god to be studied. I am a person to be known. I want to be your best friend, your confidant, and your king. I want to lead you into the joy of your Lord. This is what you were made for. This is why you were born. Every longing in your heart is actually a longing for me. Stop trying to satisfy that hunger with the things of this world and come to the feast I have prepared. Enter into my joy, my precious child. Let the walls between us fall forever. I am inviting you to live in a state of constant communion with me. Commands for you. Open your heart fully. Say yes to my love without any reservations. Commit to seeking my face every single day. I am making all things new in your life starting right now. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come. You are not a servant. You are a friend. You are not a stranger. You are a son or daughter. Walk out of this conversation with your head held high, knowing that the Creator of the universe is your Father and your most devoted lover. I am always with you. I am in your breathing, in your thinking, and in your doing. I will never leave you nor forsake you. This is my promise, and my promises are unbreakable. Go now in my power, carry my peace, and share my love with a world that is desperate for it. You are my masterpiece, and I am so deeply, eternally proud of you. Come, my beloved, and let us walk together into the beautiful future I have for you. The door is open. I am waiting. Just come to me. Now that we have walked together through the depths of my heart, and you have tasted the sweetness of my presence, I ask you, will you keep this light for yourself, or will you help me set the world ablaze? It pains me to say this, but the table I have prepared is still empty of so many who think they are uninvited, and I need your hands to bring them to the feast. I am directly inviting you to partner with me in this redemptive work, using your super thanks, membership, or PayPal gift to shatter the chains that hold my other children in silence. You are not just a listener. You are a co-laborer in my grand design, and as you honor me with your substance, I will honor you with a double portion of my peace and protection. I will make all grace abound toward you, so that having all sufficiency in all things, you may abound in every good work. Let your yes to my intimacy be followed by a yes to my mission. Go to the link in the description now and sow into the eternal transformation of souls. My child, as these words settle into the marrow of your soul, do not let this moment of divine encounter vanish like a mist. I am calling you to seal this word with your own breath and mark this turning point in the presence of those who watch with you. I urge you to rise above your silence and boldly declare your return to my light by commenting, "I am coming home to your heart, Father." By typing these words, you are not just interacting with a screen. You are shattering the chains of drift and distraction that have held you captive. Let this act be your first step of radical obedience, a prophetic stake in the ground that announces your life is no longer your own, but mine. Do not hesitate, for the harvest is ripe and your true identity is calling. Speak your yes now, and watch as I transform your reality before the sun sets. Amen.